Hello, everyone, and welcome to Amon's second OTB event in pretty much as many weeks. 2 weeks to OTB events. I'm joined with the lovely Aiden and Mannered Monkey, Kurtz.
Hello, hello.
How you guys doing?
How's it going, everybody? I just love that Aiden just got up just as soon as we turned the stream on. Like, when you switch scenes and like Aiden just instantly turns around to give the chat a nice look there. So I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah,
A little
thank
bit of
you.
modelling. I've got the chess bra merch on, so
Yeah,
Yes. We see the players are even they're sitting down at the same time, presumably because this is also the start of the round.
yep. The
So
game is going to be starting very shortly. We have a great view of the playing hall behind Amon and his player, who is named Andrew Mayo. Which is
wow,
another.
we got a lot of thematic like interesting names in
I
a
know.
Mons tournament.
I was
Andrew
my first
Mayo,
reaction. There was also Jason Manley.
Jason Manley.
There was another one, but I'm forgetting it. Well, thank you everyone for joining us so far. We've had a lot of energy. We're a couple tier threes from
Max England.
Itos Max England.
yeah,
Yep. Itos Nooks. Thanks for the tier 3 for 7 months. Thank you, Twink Time, for the tier 3 for 26 months.
go
You,
twin time.
Zua, for 4 months. Thank you. Mattered Monkey for the 83 months. That is a
83
long
months.
time, buddy.
It certainly is. I'm old.
But you're grandfathered in, so to speak.
I am. That's right.
And thank you, CM Sirius, for the 2 years. Thank you, buddy.
Solid subs coming in.
So Andrew Mayo, I think he's like 1400 FIDE. I was reading in the chat. Do we have knowledge of the man? Did anybody do any opening research?
Any analysts in the chat right now? I can Google it.
Oh,
So it is
well,
1427 Canadian Open.
CFC. Okay. So yeah, it's good because I have some people from a different office are visiting work, and I told them that I would be free today after 7 p.m. So that's like 2.5 hours from now. So I'm really kind of keen on this game finishing quickly. But if it's not, I can always bail on the work thing. It's not a big deal. But I was kind of anticipating a lower rated opponent today, so
Well, it's a Swiss event, so it's the first event for people who don't know. You're always going to get a bit of an easier pairing, so to speak.
that's right. At least in the first round, especially in these like it was a little different from the Canadian Open because the Canadian Open is definitely a larger event. When you're playing a weekender like this, that it's definitely more of kind of a local open, I would say. Then you're definitely going to get some low rated breaths on the first round. So um, I mean, okay, definitely 1400 is no slouch. Man knows how to play, but
Sorry,
I would
everybody.
expect Amon to do very well.
We are currently 2 factor subs away from 100, which is a nice even number. So maybe by the end of a Mons tournament, and
Very
maybe
nice.
even by the game end of today, we can hit it. If you use exclamation point factor, you get $120 off.
I'm a
Time
Factor
check.
subscriber.
I am too.
My first Factor is coming next week at like I think Tuesday.
You're in for a treat. It actually is
I'm,
really good.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
I ordered the sausage one. I love that shit. I ordered like a lot of them.
Nice.
I'm wanting to what I knew I liked.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the global partnerships to come in for chess bra. I feel like here down under, we've all been missing out on such all these awesome sign up opportunities. Like I really wish that I could sign up to Factor. That's for sure.
Well, that's why we need you on the stream here, Aiden. We need to get some foreign ladies to watching to expand the demographics. And we see a handshake, and the clock has started, and we'll see what Amon goes for. I wonder if we're going to see a London system. The joy that I will feel. Well, we see D4 on the board. Okay.
Well, we love to see our boys in his prep. We got knight f6.
Going into London, maybe.
Yeah,
Pretty.
it's knight f6 is very common. Can't really. Well, I mean, Amon is stopping here. We could certainly see c4, knight f3, and bishop f4, all very reasonable options to expect from Amon, and he goes for
I think it's c4.
c4.
Yeah.
He goes for c4.
Okay.
So couple options here from black because f3 is very flexible. Okay, so there's even more options here. What
Now,
would
if
Stinks.
Amon wanted to plug the gym, he could play knight c3 because the gym bras, as far as I know, have been working on, and he does. He plays knight c3 for the Nimzo.
yeah?
The gym bras have been working on a lot of Nimzo Indian stuff. So lots of I mean, this is the Nimzo is pretty much why people don't play Knight C3 sometimes. Like the Nimzo is considered to be quite good as far as I know. I was told by Big Mayo that basically the reason that no one plays Knight C3 is is the Nimzo. But Queen C2 is definitely a good choice against it.
I'm so far out of my book. This is as far as my theory goes.
I
So
remember this. I had one a couple of gym lessons that Eric was kind enough to offer, and they did go over this exact line, the classical variation. And I think at some point, Black will want to try and put his knight in on e4. I think maybe after. At some point, I think there might be a pawn on d5 as well for Black, and then you want to put pressure with the bringing the
so
knight into e4 as well.
right,
I can't remember exactly, but
that's what
somewhere
this
around there.
move Queen C4 is kind of designed around, right? So if you think what does Bishop B4 do? Just straight off the bat, it puts it pins the knight, and then Knight E4, if you like ignore it, could become an issue later on. So Queen C2 kind of is very solid because it protects C4 and really deals with that. So there's lots of things that are possible here. Someone says that they want D6. I've played this position twice over the board myself, and I played D5 in this line. But you could also play
Yeah, I've
C5.
seen c5 played here
Yeah,
a couple of times.
C5. I mean, C5, D5, D6. Also, castles is presumably. I think yeah, castles. I
Yep.
guess is the most common move. Um, I think castles is what I've seen Eric and Amon play most often from the black side. But uh, I don't know. I wonder if our. I mean, this. It's always interesting to get
We did
to
get
get into.
castles.
We did get castles. Okay, so I don't know what's normally played here. It looks like A3, but there's so much different stuff. There's like A3, there's knight F3, there's E3, there's E4, which is a little tricky because you're inviting black to capture on C3. Um, there's F3, as CM Series points out. There's so much. We're out of book for me.
We
What
did
I'm on
get
queen
a
F3.
yeah.
Okay.
What D5 trans? Well, again, lots of different options. C5, D6, B6. You know, D5. Rook E8 even I've seen before. So D5 loses the bishop, does it really? How does D5 lose the bishop? Oh, you mean on the no it doesn't. On the move before castles. Certainly it doesn't. D5, he's concerned about queen A4, but we have knight C6 and the bishop is
Yeah.
so I think weltering time, I think everyone's somewhat interested in seeing that happen.
I think a lot of people are interested in seeing that happen. Does Amon ever have any G6? Sorry, G3, Bishop G2?
I mean, I'll be straight up. I've literally never seen him on play this, so I'm sure he has because I'm sure it's just so common. You play a D4 lines and knight C3, uh, but you're gonna see a Nimzo, but I have no clue if he's ever played this before. I mean, G3 is I guess not unre. It seems a little weird. I feel like we would have gone with a different move order if we're gonna play G3. Um, I don't know because you can play. Maybe the knight wants to go somewhere else if you're playing G3.
Yeah, like maybe then you would have gone for E3 and knight E2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's another. I was thinking he could just go for kind of like Catalan out of this.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. It just looks weird to my eyes. Like this move order just looks really strange.
Yeah, especially
But
with the queen on c2, because it's not really in the catter line. You want it out over here, pressuring the eventual
yeah,
sacking of this pawn.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, it looks like we got d5.
D5 makes quite a bit of sense. And now in some lines, believe it or not, if you were to take this with white, and I believe white does, the move queen takes d5 is not unreasonable, and we may transpose into this, and um, this is like a very just because we're utilizing the pin, and then I mean, let's say bishop d2 or
Yeah,
whatever, you would like queen f5 even in some cases. Well, here you might run into e4, but in certain cases you trade that way. But you could take, and the point being is that you don't want to take with a knight and a move will go, and then be obligated to trade it or bring it back and lose a tempo. You could then like take with the queen and move the queen somewhere useful, like a5 or something like that.
yeah,
So
flying
if we
position.
see, so it's still just d5 on the board. Ahmad is picking. He's on. I mean, you could play e3 and hope that they take. You could. Ahmad probably doesn't want to do that. He wants to get the bishop out. You could play bishop g5. I think it's probably reasonable. Um,
He did
okay,
take.
He
he does take.
takes.
His
Yeah, and I
time
wonder what we'll
usage.
see. I mean, e takes is also reasonable, just to open up your bishop and get your bishop to go somewhere. I think e
Yeah,
takes is probably the
Yeah.
most. Queen takes is just a little weird.
yeah. Nope, I don't think Amon played this guy last tournament. Actually, I know he didn't.
He certainly did
We
not.
would have remembered a name
Like Andrew
quite like
Yes,
Mayo.
Andrew Mayo, I feel.
Yes. So e takes is the most common move according to the opening book.
yeah, it makes quite a bit of sense. Moving the e pawn uh, opens up the old bishop. So
That's a very funny comment from Bungman. Not gonna read it though.
yeah, I don't know about that there, Neil. The Nimzo is not an opening that I really like. At least this kind of opening is not one that I really expect us to be winning in a couple moves on. But okay, so we saw he takes. I expect Bishop G5,
Yeah.
Bishop G5, or I guess Bishop F4. It seems a little unreasonable. Bishop G5 is a lot more aggressive. Uh,
Kind of stopping. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, stopping 95.
right. So Bishop G5 and then E3, all the normal stuffs. Bishop E2 or Bishop D3. Um, like
Yep,
and just
You see it?
we do see it. So it
I think
does seem
we're
like the gym knows this pretty well. He's playing it pretty
yes,
quickly. So if you
yes.
wanna, learn opening theory with the best of them, being able to blitz out some Nimzo, exclamation
It
point
was
gym.
a Nimzo there, Holly, and a Queen C2 Nimzo breath. So I think really what Amon is trying to do in this game is he's trying to advertise, right? He's advertising the gym. He's advertising his habit series because we're gonna see him playing like E3, Bishop E2, H3, A3, and he's also advertising fact. We want two more factor signups
Yeah,
before the end of the stream. So you know,
he's putting in the work.
that's right. Just a big ad bra. Saw a game with a 1400. A guy he outrates by around 1,000 points. He's like, this is a good point in time to
I think
to
it
get
is.
some factor signups.
Might be over 1,000.
Right. I think over 1,000.
It
Yeah.
is over 1,000. Yeah, yeah. We have to get the factor patch sent into him, like they do with the like the ones in the Olympiad where they all have sponsors on them.
Yes. Yes.
Been a lot of energy for Amon's OTB.
100% Thongmi. If Andrew Mayo was factor sign up,
Oh yeah,
he would use their nutritious and delicious meals to be able to study more theory for longer and stand a much better chance against Oman if he was eating factor meals.
yeah. You can put more time into the chess, less time into cooking. It's really a win-win.
Mm.
I'm sure that our friend Mr. Mayo has heard every joke under the sun about his last name. I don't know. I would feel kind of bad in like high school if I had the last name. that he like, because I'm sure he's just heard it all, especially in Canada where they put mayonnaise on a lot of stuff, like their fries.
Well,
Canadians love mayonnaise on fries, for example. So
I feel like you can
Is
go
that
with
what they
like
put on
mayo
a
there.
poutine, or is that a different
no,
sauce?
poutine is a different type of disgusting. It's usually like gravy and cheese curds.
Ah, okay.
I feel like you can have the cool nickname though, like "Yo, I'm Mayo," just introduce yourself as your last name. That's what I did with Gory.
You could maybe
Right.
look into being a rap artist. I feel like there could be some potential names there.
Or
Like
well,
DJ Mayo. Yeah.
he should probably go into comedy, honestly, Mr. Mayo. Like there's so many opportunities there, and it's just a very memorable name. Maybe be like Andy Mayo or something. I don't know.
So, what would you do as
Mayonnaise
Black?
on fries is fine. I'm sorry, go ahead, Gory. But poutine is disgusting.
So apparently Black just continues development of Knight B7, but I don't know. We're 7 moves deep, and I wouldn't be
What?
surprised if he just kind of plays his own move, like I don't know, like H3.
What the Mayo Clinic, Mr. Hansen? Yes, I don't know. He's patting Hansen is patting himself on the back for some really highbrow humor with a Mayo Clinic reference. Yes.
I think I can context clues that one.
I wonder what that one's about.
Do you think Black is considering H6?
H6 is a very reasonable move here. Very direct. I don't know. There's definitely some like weird lines where you uh like I've seen some Nimzo lines where you play H6 G5 94 where you get like all this pressure. I feel like it's not really here though. I don't know. Like this is a problem with playing the Nimzo because you kind of have to know the specific stuff. But you'll notice that like in this position, White's not very close to castling.
At
You
all.
could win the bishop pair if you so desired, right? And get a lot of space on the king side. But you know the downside, of course, is like look at how open your king will be, right? And like look at the space that you're giving up. It's a little spooky. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't play these lines. I have no. I don't know. I feel like you kind of have to play H6 or you could play C6. You could play like there's definitely C6 different ways to play
Yeah.
C6, Knight BD7, Queen E8. I don't know. Um,
I feel like since Aiden, since Aiden said pawn,
Oh,
that's the only thing I can think about every time I move pawn.
I can't help it. Okay, it's just how I talk. Unless I really have to like enunciate the word and be like pawn.
No,
Yeah, it's okay.
Aiden is here to get to trick some foreign some cute foreign ladies into watching the stream.
Of
We
course, of
draw them in
course.
with Aiden. We get them to subscribe with to Factor, and then they end up joining the Chess Pro Gym and going to Puerto Rico. So
That would be ideal. Hopefully, we can also milk them of any Prime subs as well.
that's right. Any
Yeah.
Prime subs?
Really need to increase our primes, I feel.
Yes. So C6 seems like a very kind of solid and positional way to play this.
Well, Slicer, I got you in here, didn't I, buddy? So I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I don't know. C6 is reasonable. H6 is also reasonable. Maybe Mr. Bayo is a habits bra himself, and he wants to get an H6 just to, as Catalan Drip God would say, space for king, but not really space for king quite yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, C5 I guess is literally an option. That's one that I'd be very concerned about. I'd have to have some stuff cooked up, uh, just because like it looks spooky.
Well,
I don't know.
C5, if you take, I instantly enter
Sure.
this, but then I mean,
Well,
your bishop gets
yeah,
trapped if you do this. I guess you're winning
yeah.
this, but you're losing a bishop.
I suppose. I don't know. C5, if we just go back, you'll note that after C5, I don't necessarily have to play D takes. I could play like E3, which to be honest with you, dude, is kind of what I want to play anyway. I don't really want to waste time taking on C5. So just want my bishop on E2. I'm not going to put the bishop on D3. I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to put it on
realized that
E2.
in this.
And if he takes back on E4, if he takes on D4, I'll take with the knight. And you've just voluntarily given yourself an isolated queen pawn there, right? So, okay, I'm sure C5 is a move. I have no clue, no clue.
Seems like there's a lot of lines here, so I guess black is kind of just choosing which one that he really wants.
Yeah, let me see. Knight BD7, H6, C6, C5, B6. Yeah, B6 seems maybe a kind of B6 is a little strange.
Yeah, it's
I don't
not
know.
very common. B6 is kind of strange because unless you're going to A6, your bishop doesn't really
Rook
look like it
E8.
has much.
Okay. Wow. I don't understand the point of this. Maybe he wants to maybe tuck the bishop back to F8. He's a real turtle, bruh. He wants
He's a
to
tuck
get
bra.
his yes
Tuck, bruh.
tuck. Yeah, it's certainly useful, Rook E8. I don't know. Maybe we're probably going to transpose back into something reasonable. Uh,
Well, we probably want to play E3 anyway.
yeah.
Activate the bishop and just get ready to castle.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd play G3 there, boys. I think I'd play E3, and that now Bishop D3 is not so. After E3,
We
what
did
did
get
Amon
E3.
play? He
E3.
did play
Okay.
E3.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how Amon is playing, and he's not. I mean, granted, he is playing against the 1400. We shouldn't get like too ahead of ourselves and like celebration or whatever. But he's like not. He's not playing a 1400. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna, go ahead.
He's just playing faster, which is still, we can be happy in that. I'm sure at some points, it'll probably take some time to calculate, but his opening, he's been pretty confident in it.
Yes. But again, we are playing a 1400. You kind of,
Yeah.
a guy knows what he's doing, but you have some faith that he's not going to play perfect this game. So why is he playing a 1400? This is the life of if you've ever played a weekender, this is basically the field of your average Delaware Open. You got maybe one grandmaster came down from Philly. Amon came from Toronto to Nova Scotia. You have like a local international master or something. Couple maybe one or two FMs, and then it's just all the local players. So this is your classic weekender.
I would say that Black's
Yeah,
been pretty flexible, but he also hasn't done much.
yeah. It certainly is the weekend. Friday is the weekend. Friday counts as the weekend.
Oh, yeah. After work, then it's the weekend. You're officially
Oh
off.
yeah, that's certainly it.
Pretty, very early Saturday morning for me here. Right into the weekend at the moment. It's about 7:22 a.m. Saturday morning. It's great to wake up and see one of the boys playing some competitive chess.
Oh geez. Well, I'm excited to commentate with you tomorrow, Corey, because we could potentially, if we're so inclined, we could cover two games. The tail end of Mr. Hansen's Olympiad game,
That is
if
true.
he if he's if he's
I
still
may
there.
have some confirmation that he's playing. So
Oh,
maybe. You said pretty sure he's playing tomorrow.
I hope the Ugandan team's not watching this stream, and they will have gotten extra information for preparing,
Oh, yes.
just by virtue of watching. But shout out to a Ugandan Olympiad team facing off against Canada tomorrow. All right.
So we were saying exclamation point Jim, but it's actually exclamation point learn.
Learn!
Okay. I was
Exclamation
just
point
looking at
learn.
the command page on Nightbot, still showing one under exclamation mark, Jim. So maybe is it, yeah, the new one that Val
Interesting.
mentioned.
This tournament has a very cool name, Pawnwise Atlantic Chess Festival.
On.
I don't know.
What's
It was a Nimzo there. Chulum.
Well, they aren't moving because it's classical. Amon and his opponent are both thinking of their next couple 5 moves. What they want to do with the position and kind of what their plans are. They take some time to do it.
Apparently, I'm someone else's doppelganger.
I thought I was yours.
But I think I'm just a white person who wears glasses.
Yes.
Skinny white person who wears glasses.
There are a lot of us.
That is a common archetype.
There also are a lot of lines here. That's why they're not moving.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Mayo is very likely. Apparently I look like a mouse. Okay, all right.
I don't see
a
that
nice
one.
comment from an audience girl there.
I think that if you check, I'm sure that's a brand new account. That's
Probably.
yeah, it's a brand new account. Just
made.
someone making a duplicate.
No, but we take
But we will
those.
take it though. I'll,
It's
Yeah.
I'll
okay,
take it.
not everyone's open. Not everyone's as free to express their beliefs.
Zac Efron is Ted Bundy. That's great. Oh dear. Okay. Well, Mr. Mayo is considering lots to consider here. Hello, Squazoid.
Hello, buddy. But following for 19 hours, so it wasn't just
19
made for this
hours.
purpose.
Maybe it was in preparation.
Yes, they heard of Buddy Ice's stories, and they heard he was coming on. I mean, the lad did a shoey the last time he was here.
Well, I mean, we did get the factors, and we
We
also
did get
raised
the
100 subs. I
That's
feel
a
like
great-
it was
a great
very well
question.
earned.
A great question from Benjamin.
Yes, does
Yes.
Mr. Lord have any relation to
Lord
Mr.
Mayonnaise.
Mayo?
Yeah.
Exactly. Shoey
There's always
candy.
a potential to do another, but we obviously need to
We need to raise
secure
the
the bag for it.
factors. How many factors would you do it at?
I think we need to get 105 factors,
Okay, so
so
only
another
7 more.
7,
That's doable
and
then.
then we'd also have to get at least 70 subs
Okay, so 70 subs at least.
and the 7 factors.
Okay, but I mean, you guys heard the man. Exclamation point factor if you're in America, It's plus 70 subs, it can be crowd raised. And we have the entire tournament.
Mm-hmm. Drink a beer at a very early Saturday morning
Yes. Literally
out of a
wake up with a
disgusting
beer.
work.
Have you eaten any food yet?
What's that? No, I've only had a coffee. That's it.
So an empty stomach for it too. Perfect. Sorry, Kurt, you were saying something?
Oh,
Yeah, Matt
no. I'm sorry. I just legitimately had to cough.
Matt understands. It's an Aussie breakfast right there.
We were thinking
That's right.
on H6, you might want to keep the pin, because G5 seems kind of a little
G5
loose.
is double-edged for sure.
Yeah.
Hello, Treaty 6, my Tulum buddy. Hope you've been doing well.
Treaty 6. And H6 isn't even forced. There's still options of C6,
C6,
C5.
C5.
There's so many lines here.
Now, Bishop G4. I don't know. Knight BD7. What's Mayo? He's like 1400 or so. He's 1400 CFC. He might be unrated on the FIDE. So it's a fun fact there,
We gotta move.
Corey and Aiden. If someone's unrated on FIDE, you basically have, at least if you're a rated player, you have a full incentive to full send against the guy, unless there's like a tournament situation. Because if you lose to an unrated player, like you don't lose any FIDE points because they're unrated. So you
Yep.
can you can full send with no risk. Of course, you don't gain points either, but it's always better to win than it is to lose. So
That's a noted. Seems like Mayo we got b6, which we said was kind of interesting in this position because you're staring at a pawn.
what are you doing with that? I get maybe he wants to play c5. I don't know. And he wants to be able to take back. It's just a little strange. It's very slow. Um, and like you kind of want to get the rest of your pieces out there and let's
Yeah, so
see.
would now you would consider a3?
I don't know. I'm still not worried about c5. I would play bishop d3 with like the extremely concrete threat of, well, in fact, taking on h7 first um, would just win. So, I mean, bishop d3 is kind of weird. Uh, I don't think you really want the bishop on d3 because, like, I think you want it on e2 or even b5 or something. Um, but d3 it's just a little strange to me because of like c4 c5 and knight e4. So um,
Does b5 not kind of make b6, like if you go bishop b5, does it not kind of make b6 a little?
I mean, I suppose, yeah. No, well, not really. I mean, because you could have played c6 and then b5 in one move, right? If you wanted to
Yeah.
do that, b6 like weakens the old light squares over there. So yeah, I think this is Mr. Mayo's first mistake. If there's a mistake, I mean, it's not like a really big mistake. It's what like the chess.com engine would call like an inaccuracy, I would guess, because it's just slow. It's just slow. You play b6, so you can play bishop a6.
We did get
Or
bishop d3.
right, okay,
Okay.
bishop d3.
Makes a concrete threat to win a pawn.
Concrete threat to take on h7, right? So bishop a6, I guess, is like the only thing that I would think is reasonable to like. Well, the only idea that is reasonable, a reasonable reason for playing b6, right? If you play b6 and say that I'm going to put my bishop on b7, like you can do that. You get all this extra protection over d5, but it's just again kind of very slow, and I think you'll lose quickly. But if you trade off this bishop on this light squared bishop, then you're saying, okay, hey, I got rid of my bad bishop for your good bishop. But I think bishop d3 is quite concrete, so we should see like h6 from Mr. Mayo here. Um, bishop a6 is a move. Well, here bishop a6, bishop takes h7, and then bishop right back to d3, dude. After king f8 or something, king h8, king f8, and then it's just like, okay, maybe I snagged a pawn, can't complain, right?
Okay. A
So
Yeah.
clean pawn, and
yeah,
Yasser would love that.
Yeah, baby.
yeah. H6, bishop f4, sure. H6, bishop h6, sure. Um, I think one of the reasons that our buddy
That doesn't work.
played c5 or b6 was so you could play c5. That's the only other thing that I can think. So I am not sure. I am not sure.
I'm gonna refresh so we go back to the live position. I do expect a little bit of a thing from Buddy Mayo here. Just to, realize that, okay, what's he threatening? What's the best way to deal with it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I have you here. It's to be the
That's
chess
right.
expert.
The chess expert. I am actually the lowest rated member of the panel. That's true. Okay.
Ever.
Um,
Yep,
I'm only good if Aman went into the Jerome, then I might be able to offer some more insight into the position, but haven't
Yeah,
played a whole lot of the Nimzo, that's for sure.
you're just you're used to attacking a piece down.
Yeah, definitely. Down what 2 pieces for 2 pawns normally.
Yeah, but that's the best way to play chess.
Oh yeah,
Having to mate or you're just lost.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Um, Oftentimes, like I think what we'll find in my prediction for this game is that like Mr. Mayo is going to make a series of moves that look reasonable. And then all of a sudden we're kind of wake up. Aman's gonna play like a very like a timely 95 or like a timely exchange, and he's just gonna like win on the spot. And it might be like a grindy game too, where he just wins a pawn or something. But like we're gonna see a couple of like eight. You might see this current threat of taking on h7, and but that's often how it happens in these Nimzo positions where you play like incredibly reasonable, like knight b7 or bishop b7, stuff that just like okay, I'm developing, I'm doing stuff, and then you'll just kind of like wake up and it'll all fall apart. So it's b6 is the first of those mistakes in my opinion, and Aman is doing a good job in just putting like some really like a very direct threat. um
Yes, Eddie, this is the first round game. It's a new tournament in the Mayflower Open called Pawn Wise Atlantic. And we have a very nice view of the playing hall. It's an all ages event. And I'm joined by the wonderful Aiden and Kurtz.
Hello to Eddie.
And we do have confirmation that Aiden will do a shoey at 105 factor and 70 subs. So we
Yeah.
really got to push that.
Really gotta push that.
I want to see
Need
another.
some wallets to open for the stream.
Yes, I want to see another Aiden shoey.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was the reason I bought Factor, Aiden, to get you to do it.
What we want. Are you enjoying the meals?
I am, actually, I really am. And I'm a picky eater,
good.
so it's very good. It's also easy, it's microwavable. And with $120 off, it really is a good deal. Well, that you get to choose gap piece.
What were the options? Do you remember, Gory, in terms of the nutrients part of it?
A diet one, a gym one. I think there was like a keto one, and then there was like a and like you have like maybe dietary issues. I think I know there's 4 or 6. One of the even numbers, and you get to choose a lot of meals. I chose like horseradish beef, sausage. It was over a week ago when I was running on nuts.
I like that from Twink Time.
I'm working on it, Twink Time. I have started to work on it, or at least try to. But there definitely are good meals to kind of bulk up, easy after the gym, before the gym. Yeah, well, horseradish beef is really good. It's its own type of flavor, though. Just gonna thank out a couple of the fine ladies and gentlemen in the chat. Thank you to Orbis for the 17 months. Thank you to Marshmallow Fury for the 10. Thank you to Badkins for the tier 3 for 15 months. Thank you to Frank Rutan, who's been here for 59 months, which is longer than I've been playing. Thank you to Jobius for the 15 months. And thank you to Darkbone for the 51.
Whoa,
G6.
Whoa, okay. So never mind. The guy is not gonna play any reasonable moves.
Full send.
I instantly just want to go bishop h6.
Oh well, no.
Okay, so you wouldn't do this?
This is just so castles. Another concrete threat threatens to take on f6, take on d5, or take on d5 if you prefer to keep the bishop. Yeah, I don't know. This is okay. So I think when you're playing chess and you're playing over the board and you're playing these tournaments, this is as someone who was there. My very first rating was 1450 USCF. So there are levels of understanding, right? There are like breakthroughs in your understanding where you like come to a chess epiphany, uh, and like a huge some breakthrough comes in, and so I would say that like 1,000 or 1,200 is a breakthrough, maybe where you stop hanging all the pieces every game. You kind of know about strategy, and then 1,400 around this mark, 1,400 like a 1,500 to 1,600 is kind of a different. There's a different level of understanding, like a different a kind of way to approach the game. And of course it's all very like squishy. It's not squishy is not the right word, but like very fluid. There's a spectrum that the chess players are on, maybe multiple spectrums that the chess players are on. But the spectrum of rating is interesting. So you'll get another one maybe at 2,000 and so on. But I think like this is just one of those things that uh, yeah, G6 addresses the threat concretely of taking on H6. So like, props to Mr. Mayo for like addressing like the concrete threat that's happening right now. But we're going to it's like the wrong approach to solve the problem, right? Because it just weakens these squares, and it's
Yeah.
just hugely weakening it. So.
Do you think? I'm just wondering if his plan might be, which I know this isn't. I don't like it myself. But Bishop F8 and Bishop G7, which just feels very slow. But
So, I mean, immediately you can take on d5 there, or take on f6, take on d5. I would take on d5 first, because I want to keep my dark squared bishop. Um, so,
yeah, because that's a really strong bishop.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think you definitely want to take on d5 if that happens. I think if I'm on castles, like, you're obligated to play. I mean, like Eric was right. You see, Amon's like deep in the tank here because he's thinking like, okay, how how do I want to just really just put this guy, take him out to the shed and show him that G6 is just incorrect. Um, like how exactly to do that? Actually, that's a great point. Like takes and Queen H4, Queen A4. Just in fact, it might just work. Takes on F6 and Queen A4. Oh no, it takes on C3 comes to check. Never mind. Never mind. Never
After
mind.
castles, though, that's a really big threat.
Yeah,
If
there's many like huge threats.
Hmm.
But I mean, Bishop E7 would kind of save
does
your life here.
Also, actually, it doesn't even work if we get everything that we want. You get knight. Never mind, that shit hangs a knight. Oh no, it doesn't because the queen protects it.
No, so I think yeah, C3 is unfortunately checked. But like with this move G6, it like after B6, I was predicting like again a couple of moves and then like the dude would just be lost. Um, Bond's like looking for a straight up knockout here. He's just like looking for okay, like how, like how I'm just gonna do one move. He's gonna make another move, and then if he doesn't find this very particular thing, I just win. Because G6 is just optically very bad, and when our friend Mr. Mayo comes to another breakthrough, when he hits 1,600, he'll stop playing moves like G6 and he'll just understand that hey, my bishop's not over there. I'm weakening this knight, which is already in a pin. Like he'll be he won't make these same mistakes.
Just saw a good comment there from Neil. So with like G6, you obviously want to keep the dark squared bishop because all of black's dark squares around the king are now a lot weaker.
Right?
We did get castles.
Yeah, I think castles is reasonable. Just concrete threats of takes on f6 and queen a4. There's also uh, there's also just concrete threats that d5 is just hanging. Right now, you can win a pawn if you wanted to. Um, yeah, it's just like so. There probably is a way to save this to like not lose on the spot and like to fight. Maybe bishop e7. I think is what I would play. Yeah, you're right. Like Queen E7, Jan. Janver, queen e7 would hold things together. But then there's also knight takes on d5 there, buddy. So I think
What's a different position?
yeah, g6 is definitely, but it was, I mean, again, this Andrew Mayo, he like saw the threat. Can we go back to before Black played g6, please, Corey? Yeah,
Yep.
he saw the threat. He's like, okay, I gotta defend h6. I'm gonna play g6, or sorry, h7. I'm gonna play g6. Blunt that bishop. You know, sometimes players of the 1400 level and below, they don't see the threat in general. Like it's nice that he saw that, right? So. But on the other hand, it's just the absolute wrong approach to this problem that 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 Black is taking. A lot about chess. I was reading recently. I was reading Jacob. I'm gonna butcher the man's last name. Agard's. I was reading that dude's attacking manual, and I mean, even though it doesn't necessarily apply to a 1400 level game, it is a just like a chess is a lot about posing problems to your opponent. And so Amon posed a problem with his move bishop d3, and Mr. Mayo chose the wrong solution, even though it was still a solution.
It's a very good way to put it. So he solved his problem, but in doing so, he created a long-term issue.
Right. Well, he created more. Now the next problem that Amon will pose is going to be even worse.
Yes.
So, h6 instead of g6. It kind of like you save the pawn by removing it from the threat. It's like you're dodging or something as opposed to blocking.
Yeah, because if you ever do the bishop h6 check, you kind of just sidestep, and then you always have.
Yeah, it would be a waste of a move basically because
Yeah.
at some point the bishop will be hanging.
Yeah. You're being called a brain man, Kurtz. That's a
Geez, oh boy.
no. That's a compliment.
I see.
I would take brain man as a compliment.
Indeed, Sam, you can definitely solve the majority, if not all, of your problems with factor meals.
You call hacks
Yeah.
Sam.
And look at again, I'm gonna point to this game as a big habits advertisement. Look at all of White's pieces are developed. I mean, Amon is not going to be a habits brought here in the sense that he's not going to put a rook to the center. But okay, bishop b7 played. That does defend the pawn. And now we have to consider bishop f6, queen f6, queen a4 runs into, unfortunately, queen e7.
Also, just knight.
Knight c6 as well. Knight c6 would hang the d pawn, sir. So
Yes, it would. Never mind.
a queen e7 only move.
Even there, though, doesn't
It does feel like we have something, isn't there? But I feel like we might not. And we don't. If we don't have anything, we don't want to give up this dark squared bishop.
That is true. It's the pride and joy, especially with the.
So what about
squares.
queen a7 first? Ah, that's queen a4 first. That's correct. That's a great point. Queen a4 first. In fact, that might just win. That might just win on the spot.
Yeah, because if you take here, you can throw in this intermezzo.
Well, hold on. No. Yeah. Well, there's bishop c6. So bishop c3, let's say. Bishop takes f6.
Yep.
Bishop c6. Black bishop c6.
Yep.
And now we have to evaluate this. Bishop takes d8. But you take c6. Yes, cool. Yes. Very strong. No. Sorry, go back.
No, go back. Take the bishop first.
Take c6 because the queen on c6 covers the bishop on f6, so he can't. Okay, and now you take on c6 with the knight. You take the here, and if you save your bishop, we save our bishop rook piece. If you don't save it, we take on c3.
Yeah.
Yes. Aha. Very nice. Okay, so if maybe there's something better. Because the point being of queen a4 that hold on, go back. I think we'll see queen a4 after Amon comes back, and then the game will be very quickly over, at least practically over. If queen e7 on queen a4, that's when we take on a f6, and now your queen is stuck. Queen is stuck to both the bishop and the rook, and is being attacked by the bishop on f6. So.
And there's no time for queen c.
So they're saying after queen a4, move the bishop back to e7.
Queen a4, bishop back to e7. Yeah, I mean, this might be. I think this is forced. This is probably just forced. Yeah, and I agree with Killam. 95.
95, yeah. Just making sure there was no tricks.
I mean, do we have faith in Mr. Mayo to find bishop e7? Maybe. He found g6, which was not a good move, but he saw the threat. So I think that
even in this position though, you have a lot of trouble developing this knight.
Well, 90. I mean, 97.
Going to take here.
The knight can take.
Oh yeah,
back.
knight can take. Forgot about that.
You can try to take d7 with the other knight, I guess. And then, but no, I don't. No. Yeah, forget it. Oh, knight d7, knight c6 is probably just really good.
That's also true. Yeah, this is really hard for.
For
black.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't. When I was like a 1400, I very rarely got the chance to play up. I always really played. I just played like in my section, so I was always playing. I was always playing like this. Like people of my own rating. So I don't know how they feel, how people like feel playing up and like this anymore. Like at the 1400 level playing a grandmaster. Whether because I'm curious how Mr. Mayo feels about his position. Like, does he like? I want to get the sense of like, does he have any sense of danger here?
Yeah, like, does he know that this is potentially a threat? Has he calculated it?
Well, he probably hasn't calculated it.
Yes.
I would be willing to guess, but I'm just like wondering if, like, whether his spidey senses are tingling or not.
Yeah.
As being like, I'm in some real trouble. I just don't know. I've never. I mean, I've been 1400 before, and I've known when I'm losing. Okay, I'm sure that that Mr. Mayo knows how to calculate. He's a chess player, but you know, like there is some level of understanding, and yeah, for sure, McNaster. He probably like knows that, hey, G6 is not super great. Oh, for sure. If I was a 1400, first time I played a grandmaster, I was so excited. You think so, Mr. Counter Gambit? I mean, maybe, dude. I don't know. Well, we did have like a 1600 FIDE beat a GM in the a 2400 GM in the Olympiad today. So.
Oh wow.
I mean, okay, granted, probably someone from a country that doesn't have a whole lot of FIDE tournaments plays all the time. Very common story. The Olympiads are great for these big upsets. So. Yeah, if he's underrated, it doesn't count. And frankly, I think this would be a bit of a different game if we saw a 1400 rated kid here. He would lose. The 1400 rated kid would probably. The DGT was wrong. Oh, okay. My bad. I gotta stop reading Twitter for Olympiad upsets.
Yeah, I don't trust Twitter for pretty much anything.
Okay, all right. Now, not to roast Amon, but Amon did lose to a 1900 at some point. But it is like a massively different level of understanding. Just a different like between 1900 FIDE and 1400 CFC, it's like a huge wide range of understanding. So Yeah, a lot of chess GMs, like like there's also the guy on the Norwegian team who drew in a lost position, at least according to the engine.
Yeah, but then those are always kind of so tricky when it's like, okay, you have to find only moves for like 50 moves. I mean, we saw that in
Oh,
the.
like no kidding. I mean, I would take the I probably would take the draw at some point too, but
Amon is a bit in the tank, probably just trying to make some. Looking at some calculations because, his position's good, so he's kind of looking for the knockout.
Yeah.
Trying to win. And maybe there isn't one.
I mean, imagine drawing Aronian. I mean, it's huge accomplishment. So
Oh, yeah.
Hello to Nicola.
Yes, thank you to Nicola for 1,000 bits. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining us for commentary when you did. I had a blast. I'm gonna also thank some other people. Thank you to Chicken Pants for the tier 3 for 16 months. How you doing, buddy? Thank you to
no,
Luke Robo Kappa, which is a great username.
longtime viewer,
Oh
Luke
yeah,
Robocapa.
73 months. One of almost as here as long as you, buddy. And thank you to Texas Toast for the 6 months. And thank you to Half Man the Hand for the Prime for 28 months. And thank you to Phase, just Phase, for 8 months. And I do believe I'm all caught up. At least I hope I am.
Oh, never mind. Spenny
Oh.
just got in there, buddy.
Oh yeah.
He's got
Just
to
thank you
sneak
to
in.
Spenny Thompson for the 1 month. And as he said, he will now have to be thanked.
Yeah, so I don't think Amon is thinking about H4, H5. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes some sense just because of how bad Black's position is, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense with the position. I think what Amon is looking at is he's saying Queen A4 just wins a piece or a pawn. I'll play Queen A4. If not, I'm gonna play Knight E5, right? So he's gonna spend some time to calculate Queen A4, like all of the different moves that are possible. Um, but to be honest with you guys, I mean, I don't know. Not I don't want to knock Mr. Mayo, but even if Queen A4, like if there is some path that Mr. Mayo, if he like for example, Bishop E7, right? Bishop E7, Queen A4, Bishop E7, Mr. Mayo this defends and doesn't lose a piece, right? But Mr. Mayo might just miss it. He might just miss it. He played G6. He wants to play Queen F8. He emotionally he might just not want to bring the bishop back and land it on E7 where you know it should go on F8 because you played G6. So, well, Hallie, I mean, it's not exactly hope chess. It's like a it's I'm just thinking about I don't know like
There's also a bit of the realization that, oh, after this all happens, it's like, oh shit, did I just blunder? And then that kind of also starts to fester. So it could really, oh, we got a
Knight
knight
B5.
b5.
okay, so now I'm confused. I don't understand.
Well, I see a
I,
fork being threatened.
I think
Yeah.
this is a little too direct.
What would Mayo call this? Superficious?
Yeah, superficial.
Yeah, I guess you kind of only have. I guess you can move. No, then you'd hang this.
Well, what happens after like C6? I guess A3 or something. I don't know. Like I don't. What is our knight actually doing? I don't understand. Bishop F6 after. Oh, I mean. Oh, Bishop F6. Fair. Knight C7. Yeah. All right. So what? Do you have to play? Do you have to play Bishop D6 there? My goodness. Ugh.
Losing your dark squared bishops, you have no defense for.
Oh, not a chance. Not a chance.
Aiden, do you see the threat?
Yeah, I mean, I know we are threatening on C7. like the chat was saying, like knight a6 is also a defensive try, but it doesn't look too good.
Still want a pawn.
There seems to be some. Well, no, hold on there, Big Chief. There is a Pinsky. If you
Yeah,
could take
like
that
rook
pawn.
c8.
Oh
Yeah, so I don't
yes.
know about that one there. You could, I
Never
mean,
really
you
won
can probably
those.
take on a6. Uh, yeah. Ugh. Oh no, I don't want to look at this. So for example, I think knight a6, you could play. Uh, yeah, I'm looking at queen a4. I don't know how reasonable that is. Yeah, something. I don't know.
Something like that. That's a try. It's definitely well if you're going for tactics, it's definitely one you can. There are a lot of like tactics that you can try in this position. That's definitely a tricky one.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe I should try to start calculating. Um,
No, we'll just continue to play hope chess. It's the best type of chess.
One move at a time. Just take it slow.
I was analyzing a position with Neil, and that's literally how I did it. I was just like, "Yeah, we're just gonna play one move at a time." He was like, "Are you kidding? No, we're gonna go to the start. And we're gonna see all the moves at once." I was just like, we ended up not working together for most of it. He was a very good sport, though.
yeah, I don't.
C6.
Okay.
Well, sorry. Why does knight
This.
a6 not work? Knight a6. I'm not sure what the problem.
Yeah, because we kind of C6. There's takes, and then
Wait, hold on. Okay, because the rook on e8 hangs. Yeah, yeah. Knight takes c7. Well, hold on. No, I moved the other rook. So knight a6. Oh, no. Knight a6. Knight takes c7. Right. Right. So yeah, knight takes c7, and if you play rook d8. Um, sorry. So knight takes c7.
yes, I'm just very confused.
If you yes, okay. So if we take twice, then we pick up the
Oh
the
yes.
bishop. Well, we would yeah, right,
Yeah.
just like this. Okay, but then if you say that, hey, I will that never mind. I'm smart. I'm a smart guy. I'm gonna play rook c8, right? Then we take on f6, and now we take on e8, and that's the game. So yeah, yep,
Especially because you take with check on the queen, so you get to take the
yep,
rook.
yeah. And so this is a move order thing. I was only considering taking on f6 first, and then I was saying, oh, you would take on f6, and then the other rook could go and pin. But it's important that the queen is on d8 and blocking coordination between the like blocking the connection of the rooks. So
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you could take on c7 on bishop f6, but nonetheless, it's still a pawn, right? Yeah. So bishop
Mm.
d6 was my first instinct. Um, looks sad, but
It does look sad.
frankly, though, if you take, I take with the d pawn. Well, taking with both looks okay. With either one looks good. The queen
Yeah.
taking with the queen would remove the pin. Uh, Taking with the pawn, you protect e5. Because now I would maybe you drop, but you play bishop. Well, actually, taking with the queen loses a pawn on the spot. Never mind. Bishop f4 before the chat ends. Uh, that's right. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
so you got to take with the pawn. But taking with the pawn, not so bad anyway. I'm trying to, root for Buddy Mayo here for a second at least to hold on, because you protect the e5 square.
Yep, no more knight e5.
No, we're 95.
Feels like your bishop's kind of silly, though. I guess if you
It
go to
really
a6, though, you
is.
can force a trade because of the rook.
Okay, hold on. I think knight b5, knight c. Sorry, bishop d6, knight c7 still hangs. Is that true? Get out of town. Hold on. Knight takes c7. Oh, I hate it. Get out of here. No, that's ridiculous. Oh, 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 it's terrible. Come on now.
This is brutal. That's another pawn.
Goodness gracious.
And you're getting the bishop after, so you want a tempo there.
No, this is complete. I mean, no, come on now.
Hey, we can ask Dr. Lord Mayo if this is his lost cousin or relative. Do you have any relation to
Dr. Lord.
Andrew Mayo, Dr. Lord Mayo?
Yeah, and so honestly, knight b5, maybe it just wins a pawn. I mean, my goodness, just wins a pawn directly.
And we'll take pawns.
I mean,
And I mean, we're also calculating a lot of like tricky lines. I wouldn't have seen half of it
This is a
without like
tough spot,
shouting.
I would say.
yeah, okay. c6, maybe c6 is best because then you at least
C5 was played.
c5 was played. Okay, so
Oh,
bishop takes f6 and knight c7. I think is very reasonable.
Yes, why doesn't this just work?
It does, but the argument might just be, hey there, chief, you're not getting your knight out.
Yeah, but it's just a clean exchange. I guess
No,
you're
no, but
saying
it's not a clean exchange if we. Well, yeah, it is a clean exchange if we don't get the knight out. But also, like bishop pair. So bishop
I
pair,
guess,
don't
but
lose a pawn. He's going for the exchange sack, Mr. Mayo. Yeah, but also like it's a great point. The bishop after c5, the bishop is trapped. So you might play before anything. You might play a3. Oh my god. Oh, it's just disgusting. Like, for example, now if you wanted to win the exchange without giving up your dark square bishop, and you might, um, a3, bishop a5, b4, and then knight c7. Just you don't have to give up the bishop for that. So on f6, and in fact that might just be good. Okay, b4, knight c7. I think you're forced to play knight d7. Excuse me. So b4.
yeah, I'm with you.
You have to take, of course. Yeah, also queen c7 from Fisher Seb is a great point, but let's look at knight c7 for fun. You have to play knight d7 because otherwise knight e8 pins the. You have to play knight d7. Excuse me.
Oh.
Well, I guess queen d7 might work as well. Although there's bishop b5 there. Oh god, it just looks all so gross. And then you take on e8 or c8, whatever, and now you can break the pin.
Probably. I don't know which one I want to take on.
Yeah, I would probably take. I don't know. It's
I'm just
all
gonna take
disgusting.
e8. Just
With bishop b5 here now should probably win on the spot, right?
Yes.
Because now you're.
Yeah,
and like there's no time to take on a3 because of queen a4, and taking on f6, and if you play rook c8 or something, then queen a4 threatens to take on b5. So yeah, this is just gross as heck.
Is queen c7 not a little bit stronger than queen a4?
Yeah, it probably is. That's what Fisher Seb was saying. So we can go back and take a look after a3.
No, I mean even in this position after bishop.
Oh, well, certainly, yeah. I mean, we would see, I think, bishop c8, which is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, queen c8 is probably the right approach. But yeah, queen c7 even still. Okay, no. We're not gonna go on. Let's go back.
Where do you want to go back to? Tell me a move.
Go back to this position. Someone pointed out the position instead of knight c7.
Instead of knight c7.
So b4 here, and then queen c7. Also a solid move because we're threatening to take on b7, and then if you take with the queen, you got a straight up fork ski there. But
and the knight's also hanging after.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just in some severe trouble. I wonder. Amon is probably going to go for this, frankly. Especially c5 instead of c6. because I think c6 was a better approach if you're gonna sack the exchange, because at least you're solid on d5 and your bishop has a place to get back to. But with the queen on with the bishop on a5, it's just gross. So even if you don't play, so yeah, let's just go back to the current position there, Mr.
I was also gonna say that even if you just like passively like say, okay, you're hitting my bishop, I'll move it. You can just trade and then win the knight. So there's
and then maybe at some point you throw in takes on b4 as well. This just looks disgusting, just awful. Let's get it out off the screen. Yeah. So if c5 is just like, if we had seen c6, I think we would have seen pretty much instantly bishop takes on f6, queen takes f6, knight c7. But because Mr. Mayo has given Amon this option of a3 and putting the bishop on a5, basically, Amon's taking time now to think about whether he wants that.
Keeping the dark squared bishop.
Yeah, if you want it, but also like even if you could still go for the same thing, right? You could still play, let's say a3 bishop a5, and then you could still do this, right? And you could still like get the exchange. The difference being your bishop sucks.
Yeah, extraordinarily sucks.
A3 c4, he says. That's a good point from Coulomb. That's a good point. Hold on now. Hold on.
Hello to Tommy.
Well, solidly, can't I just win?
You could snap that guy off.
Exchange?
Yeah, hold on. I mean, yeah. You can't just take b4. Well, I don't know. Coulomb, I kind of want the pawn on c4. I want to block the diagonal, dude, so I don't want to take on b4 and let him take on d3, and then bishop a6 is maybe a little annoying, because I can't support the knight with anything other than my queen. So I would play like bishop takes g6. But also maybe you don't have to take back on d3. Maybe you're right. A takes b4 and then queen c7 should just be kind of lights out. Queen c7.
I don't know which move you want first. I'm sorry.
Any of them. I think take on b4. I would say. Let's take on b4. No, not c4. b4. In fact, taking on c4 is maybe the worst of our options.
That's why I was confused.
So now he takes on d3, and now we play queen c7.
Yes. So, little confusion.
Yeah, and now we're threatening the bishop. I would play, by the way, if you play bishop a6, of course there is just takes on c7, takes on d8, and knight c7 wins on the spot, right? You don't take on f6 because your knight is hanging on b4. You said play knight c7, hitting the bishop and the knight and the bishop and the rook.
Yep, threatening just to outright win the bishop as well.
Mm-hmm. So bishop,
we don't
have to go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aiden.
So we have bishop takes f6.
Oh, so you decided that
all our lines are out the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I feel like a jerk.
Well, we are just winning the exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we always have a6. I think that he just didn't want to deal with this c4 stuff.
That is
a3,
true.
excuse me. We always have a3. It was more exciting to play the other way, though. But you know what, though? You know what? Hold on. Let's pretend. Let's say that our opponent. I don't know. Okay, so let's play bishop f6, queen f6, knight c7. Knight c7. Let's say he plays. I don't know. Knight d7. I take on a8 or e8, either one.
Yeah, let's do a8. So he kind of has to.
Sure. Take was the rook. It doesn't matter.
Really?
Either way you take, the tactic still works that I'm looking for.
Okay.
I play a3. If you play bishop a5, then we still have to investigate what happens on c4. But if you play bishop a5, now b4. Pawn takes, and then queen a4. Oh no, bishop c6. Oh. No, we have to take on b4 first. Take on b4. Bishop takes b4, queen a4. or queen c7. Yeah, absolutely. Queen a4, queen c7, all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just... Is there a way that
Yeah,
this
okay,
doesn't just
there's
win a
queen
piece?
e7 there. That's fair. Bishop c8, sure. There's defense. There's defense. Sorry, there's defense. You're right. It feels like we're just barely not winning a piece. Hold on.
We're also hitting the knight here, but not just...
Bishop c6 is annoying.
Yeah. Doesn't this just win a piece, though?
No, queen e7.
Oh, okay, so...
Okay, so we got rook c8. Mine's
Rook
going to win the
c8 on the
exchange.
board. Okay, so this is even worse. I guess are you no? This is like this is the worst way of doing. Okay, he wants to throw this in first, but knight c7, knight c7 here. I guess knight c7. I guess bishop d6. Okay, knight c7, bishop d6.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay. Now we start to think about, can we extract this knight? Well, queen b3, knight bishop to d6. We still can't extract, so that's why I wanted to start with knight c7. But how about, oh no, how knight c7, bishop e6, knight d5. Can't take. And then queen b3 comes, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
queen e6, queen e6, queen e6, queen e6. Unlucky. I mean, if we play...
I want to go here, then you can take with that. Where's this? No, it doesn't work.
You could... I'm just trying to...
I'm also trying to catch
Bishop
it.
c4? Yeah, bishop c4, Fischer step. How about that? Okay, b5. p5.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. There's a lot. This gets really complicated. I don't think that this is going to happen. I think, but knight c7. Let's knight takes d4. Sure. There's knight takes d4. Sure.
This is the type of position I play in blitz and just go, I have no idea what's going on. Just gonna play moves. So I would hit the queen, obviously, because there's there rook takes.
There's rook takes. Rook takes is the problem with this.
Yes.
Knight takes on e6. And then like everything's hanging. Both your knights are hanging. You have knight f4.
Yeah.
I think you still just end up exchanging a bunch. Like we don't rescue a piece.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Okay, so basically, Amon's thinking like, can I play knight, or is there a way to extract this knight? Because it's just like rook c8. I don't know. It's like the sort of move that like it might work out anyway, but it's really close to just tangling. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Rook c8 and e takes d.
What about, I guess...
Queen a4, again, always the problem. Well, oh, you're right. Queen a4, bishop, queen a4, and then takes on a7.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. But there's knight c6 at the end of everything. So let's say bishop c5. Or, yeah, bishop c5. Queen takes a7, knight c6 is... Oh, no, the bishop hangs. What am I talking about? Oh, no, you're right. You're 100% right.
You have to play it first before bishop c5. If you play knight c6,
knight c6
now.
Yeah, no, knight c6 to... Sorry. Before, knight c6. After... Yep, correct. Well, hold on. How about... Is there...
What about just bishop here, though?
Knight takes d4. Maybe. Well, there's knight takes, or queen take. But hold on.
Well, instead of not taking back, I take the...
No, I understand, but I'm still trying to extract. I don't want to leave more pieces hanging. So...
Yeah, then our
Hold on, can we see what was played so we don't have to like look at these ridiculous like lines?
Well, nothing's been played yet.
I thought I just saw them writing.
Oh, then I'll update.
Oh,
But
he has played Queen
yeah,
A4.
play Queen A4.
Yeah, Queen A4 I think is the best shot if you're gonna get a shot. Knight C6. Um, Knight C6 and not unreasonable to play Bishop B5. I was looking at Knight D4, but I don't think it works. So Bishop Knight. Can we look at Knight C6 Bishop? Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking too, because then you're threatening to take and take.
Right.
And
It's just
if you
annoying that the queen on F6 covers C6 as well, because otherwise we could play like Bishop A6 or something.
in which position?
Sorry, go just after Knight C6. Let's just imagine for a moment that the queen on F6 doesn't cover the C6 square. Bishop A6. If you take our knight, we take your rook with your bishop. Then if you take with the rook, we take your bishop. If you take our bishop, we take with the queen.
Yeah.
So takes an A6, and then you take our knight, and we go to B7.
Yeah.
And if magically the knight were undefended, then we would win another piece. But yeah, and in the absolute worst case, we can certainly take on B6 and get another pawn for our trouble. However, I am looking to extract. I am looking to extract this knight. I want to say leave no man behind. Here, and we want to get out of there with all of our guys.
Yeah.
Well, the reason, Jason Taylor, that teams often send 5 players for the Olympiad is so that they can rest some players when needed. So they're resting Mr. Hansen because he is, he's the star, the gem of the team.
Yep. He's board 1.
He was probably out late, with all the Indian ladies meeting up with Pooja from some earlier Chess Bra videos. So, yes.
But we can confirm we will probably have coverage tomorrow from me and Kurtz.
Probably gonna chat, just like take a look during after. Yeah, some Bumble. Yeah, it's meeting up with Pooja from India.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the swiping, his fingers haven't got the strength to actually pick up and move the chess pieces. Therefore, he needs to have the rest.
Well, I just hope that
one.
he doesn't get cheated by Pooja like he did on chess.com. Pooja should treat our man right, and do right by right by Mr. Hansen.
Indeed. So I'm kind of expecting a deep think from Buddy Andrew Mayo.
Oh, you got to think in positions like this.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of.
Well, I think the only move is Knight C6, but yes, Knight C6 on the board.
And he finds it.
But I would expect Bishop B5.
Yep.
And I didn't really look much further. I think the problem that we're running into is that we can't. Well, hold on. Now, very funny situation. If you play Bishop C5, I'll take on D4. Right? Probably with the pawn.
Okay,
with the pawn for the tempo.
Yeah.
And now you still can't take my knight. And well, yeah. If you take with the knight on D4, I probably capture back. And then bishop, let's say you want to keep pieces on, and now I'm considering how to go. I mean, we could take on A7, but our bishop takes, and okay,
that doesn't work.
Yeah. So hold on, we have to think. Let's go back. I just need some tempos. For the old man. That's all I want.
Want to win some time?
Yeah.
Could you go Rook C1, threatening B4?
Or to take on D4, perhaps. I'm a little concerned about him capturing on E3, though. Go, Pranav! Go,
Hello,
buddy!
Go, buddy, indeed. Yeah, because if you take back, you lose the exchange.
Right, so I'm slightly concerned here. Ooh, Eric has a story for Pranav. So yeah, B4 does look interesting. I think the problem is that once the knight comes to C6, there's always every time there's bishop takes A8, and so we can't necessarily take extract the knight.
Well, at some point, if we calculate everything else and we can't get the knight out, we always can just calculate, hey, let's take another pawn. You know.
Oh, Magnus is aware of Pranav. What a wonderful, wonderful story. That's beautiful.
That is a very nice
Oh,
story.
that's so good.
Go, buddy.
If Magnus was playing the next World Championship, I'm sure that Pranav would be on his team of seconds.
On his radar, yes.
Yes.
Because we did get bishop b5.
Yeah, bishop b5. I mean, like Amon is just gonna like play with tempo like the entire time. He's just gonna play like make another threaten to win another piece. At the end of the day, if he needs to like sack on b6, he'll sack on b6.
Yeah. And if he moves the bishop, takes the knight, and takes this pawn, you can win another pawn if he takes the knight. Oh, never mind, then you have queen takes if you don't want to hang the pawn.
That's another interesting anecdote from Mr. Hansen.
A lot of intel
Magnus
from
would
the chief.
relinquish the title even if Hickey won. I'm kind of curious if I presumably he would have relinquished it even if Fabi won, but I don't know. Fabi always felt like more of a challenger to me, but yeah, our guy on the ground, Eric Hansen, that's right.
We're getting all the latest scoop from Mr. Hansen.
Well, no, like Fabi always kind of felt more like he was. If anybody can, maybe I'm just fanboying. I think I'm just fanboying. But if anybody could be considered an equal, or some kind of equal, at least in classical chess, it's Fabi. But I could just be fanboying. Like Thong Mi is fanboying Pranav right now.
I mean, it's hard not to fanboy Pranav. Did you see his latest tournament? He won like
he a legend, a true legend of the game, a legend of the sport.
So for anyone wondering why Black can't just take back the knight right away, I'll refresh in a second. Then there's bishop takes. Any piece that takes loses protection of the bishop.
Okay, and so he played bishop d6. Is that what he played?
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, bishop c5 was actually very very direct. There's a reason because now you play rook ac1, and you still cannot take that stupid knight, especially now that your bishop is on d6, blocking your queen from covering. I mean, my goodness. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. It's it's a sad day for mayonnaise fans.
Can't I just take
Bishop
with the knight, though?
h2. I suppose there's bishop h2. There's bishop h2. You're right. You're right. I'm not very sharp today. I guess, but that's sorry. Isn't that just a trade? Am I just on drugs? No, there's bishop h2 at the end of the line. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It depends on what time. Ugh. Okay. All right. Fine. Fine. Well, I can take on. At least I can take on. Well, okay. No. You still probably hold on. You take with the bishop. I take on d4 with the knight.
Before or after rook c1?
Well, still, let's say you can't take on a8 with the rook, right?
Yeah.
Because that removes the defender. Then your bishop h2 doesn't work, right? And then I can take on d4. So you take with the bishop. I take on d4. Pins all over the place. 90. What? You're playing like 97 or something? My goodness.
We can always just take and then win a pawn. And
Yeah, no, it is a disaster. This is the complete disaster for mayonnaise. I mean, Queen h4, yes, knight f3, GM draw, correct. I think bishop d6. I mean, granted, you have bishop takes h7 if you play rook c1 and we mess up when we take on c6. But practically speaking, it doesn't help that the c file is open. So like, I would play rook ac1 in a heartbeat. Thank you, Freddie Patzer.
Ooh,
Thank you,
a
buddy.
lot of subs and some bits coming in.
I'll thank the subs today. Thank you, Hamster Ham, for the 22 months. Thank you, Next Best Thing, for 6. And thank you, M Core Amazing, for the 37 months. Thank you, Thong Me, for gifting Thank you, Thong Me, for gifting a tier 3 to VI Pernav. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Thank you, Mr. Sir, for the 22 months. And thank you, Suzia Vichura, I butchered that, for 18 months. And thank you, New J, for 46 months. And thank you, Eduardo Berto, for 15 months. Snuck one past me.
No, we're not gonna. Amon's like, this Savon loves endgames thing. It's a meme, guys. He's not gonna go for an endgame against the 1400. I'm like, he's just, I don't know. He's gonna put this guy in the dirt and go to
The
dinner.
raid.
Thank you, John Bartholomew, for the raid. I am apparently butchering all the words right now. But thank you, buddy. We are just covering Amon's OTB tournament. He is playing versus Andrew Mayo, who is 1400 CFCF. I had an extra F in there. But, yeah, Amon is a very nice position. He is currently up a rook and trying to evacuate his knight, which is seeming more and more hard. But
no, but I mean, like, Mayo is giving him every opportunity to evacuate the knight. He's like, yes, please get that knight out of there.
Because even if,
go ahead.
Even if like he doesn't get the knight out, he can almost always trade it for 2 pawns by taking the knight, taking here and taking here.
Yeah.
I should have done notation instead of here and here.
Nah, we understand it. Don't worry. I'm sure the chat.
If I was Andrew Mayo, I'd be thinking about how I'm offering what restaurant I want to ask him on to go to with me. After the game.
God bless Chess TV.
God bless Chess TV. Yep, takes, sack, takes, and mate. I like it, Dr. Lord.
Yeah, but literally force mate. The wise words of Salty Clown.
The big exclamation point, literally. So I do think that Mayo made sit into a big think here, because it's not an easy position.
Certainly not. No, it's Amon's move.
It is.
Amon's just considering, does Rook AC1 extract my knight?
Oh, yes. I guess in my head I'd already played Rook C1 because of all your loving of the move.
Well, I mean, it really feels like there is something. It's just
tactically it feels like it works, even if there's.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bishop A6 runs into Bishop takes A6, Queen takes A6. I say runs into as if it's like a terrible move. Bishop A6 Black can play. Bishop takes A6. Bishop takes A6. Queen takes A6. Rook takes A8. And then there's no Queen B7 because C6 isn't actually hanging because Bishop takes H2. Right.
This is the type of move you play in an online game and you start laughing. Like, haha, they fell for my trap.
Right, exactly. Which if we're going to give Mayo some credit, maybe if Amon was like hammered or something, he would fall for this. I don't know. Although I'm pretty sure that Amon, like as drunk as I've ever seen him, would not fall for this one.
Yes, I like to think he's a bit sharper than me and most of the chat.
Amon is even drunk. He is smarter than the average bear.
Yeah. Yes.
And he happens. Okay.
Well, like a true chess pro, he gains elo when he's drunk.
Right. So
We can go through the previous moves quickly. We started with an Imzo, the classical variation.
yes, some real bear on bear action. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going there, Corey.
No problem. We got G6, which we talked about as kind of a weakening move. We got castles. Knight Knight B5, trying to go to Knight C7, threatening to force the rooks. And because you're going to be taking on F3, Queen's the only defender. And then Knight C7, which is what happened in the game. And then we got takes on D4, hitting the queen, winning a tempo. Queen A5, pressuring this pawn and this bishop. Knight C6, protecting both. And now we're trying to...
Oh, he took on... Okay, so I feel like a jerk now. Because in fact, I think we might see taking on D4.
Oh, with the queen?
I apologize to FK again. I feel like a real jerk. I know, but I don't think if a guy takes on C6, he's not gonna take on A7.
But, okay. Just, I guess that's kind of annoying.
Come on. We have 3,000 people watching. Come on, dude. Come on, man.
He's gonna force it.
No, but you're playing a 1400.
But he's up in exchange.
No, I know, but you're playing a 1400. Like so.
Ooh,
Let's
and he
get
goes
some
for it.
flashiness.
We got
Let's
queen
get
takes.
Oh, come on.
I was about to say maybe the
I'm
1400
dying.
is like really against queen trades flying piece.
I know, unless you're playing Salty Cloud, my friend.
I know.
Please. No, I understand. You're up a billion pieces. You're up in exchange. But you're playing a 1400 and you have 3,000 people watching.
Yes, you just want to teach us how to convert a slightly winning position. A better position.
Up in exchange. Oh, me.
Exactly, more factor subs.
We have gotten one. We are on 99.
We need 6 more to get Aiden to do a shoey. No, come on. I want my commentator to do a shoey. We need you guys though.
See, we just sent Hanson to bed.
Good night, Chief.
End games, just get him out of here.
It's like 4:30 a.m. in India at the moment.
Oh, yeah, but shout out
Surprised
to,
he was still up so long.
Yeah, he's gotta make sure that we don't mess up anything. Good night to Eric, and good luck tomorrow. Or hopefully we can catch the tail end of his game. It is nasty, which is why we have to make him do it.
It is out of a work boot as well, Captain Micmac. Just more incentive for you to open your wallet for a factor subscription.
We're quickly closing in. Make how many subs are visible, or at least try to.
Oh yeah.
Hope that worked. Nope. Still out of 60. I'll fix it tomorrow.
No, 14. I wouldn't expect Mr. Mayo to resign. In fact, you shouldn't resign just down an exchange. It's
especially, I mean, you have the 2 bishops for it as well.
Right. Make no mistake. I'll do the Obama. Let me be clear, for the Chess TV libs. Let me be clear. This is absolutely 100% winning, for white, but you still shouldn't resign against like any level of anybody, just because it's just an exchange.
Well, we got 100. We're now 5 away, Buddy Ice, from the shoey.
Ooh, look out.
So if you guys are in America...
We have been crowdfunding a few subs by the looks of it.
Yes, well, if you're in America, exclamation point factor. We need 5 more people. You can even buy more than one. You know, if you have a grandmother, mother you want to buy a factor meal for, feel free to. You know, it's a great gift. And we can wake up Aiden with a shoey. Exactly.
Yes, very early Airbus. For sure. So we don't get a queen trade. Queen e7.
Yeah, queen
Thank
e7 played.
Jesus. I
Would we
want.
look
So-
at pinning the light squared bishop?
Or would you just...
Sir, yes. Now again, no. Again, Mr. Mayo, he's giving us a chance to play like rook c. Okay, granted, bishop c5, bishop c5, but bishop c5, and then we can play like. Well, let's play like a mon, queen e5.
What about queen g4 to get a tempo on the knight? On the rook? Oh,
Sure,
you just take...
sure. Actually, that's even. I mean, f5, I guess, is maybe slightly concerning.
Well, and can't you just take our knight?
But b4 is
Oh,
the
yes,
problem.
yes.
Yeah.
F5... Then we can force a queen trade.
Was Eric here for my let me be clear? Oh, okay. Never mind.
I think he was. Or maybe not.
Maybe not. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
It wasn't
We'll
that
see,
funny.
Eric. We'll see about the fantasy.
And worst comes to worst, at any point, Amon can win 2 pawns on top of that rook for the knight. And then this knight will be instrumental in taking 7 points of material.
Maybe you're right there, Gory. Maybe you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Maybe you're right. Maybe you just take on b6 because
And you're
No-
also...
no, because we might still lose the knight after rook ac. Oh, was that played? Was all this
Yep,
played?
all this was played.
Oh dear.
So maybe here.
Okay. And then queen e5. Yes, of course. Queen e5, certainly. Queen e5. Yes, naturally. Goodness gracious.
Go endgames. God bless Chess TV
Okay.
as well.
In fairness, this is just like this is just. I mean, we might still just be extracting the knight, which is just ridiculous.
It's really funny because if queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes, b4 is a massive problem.
Yeah.
Queen
And-
takes. If you don't do...
Well, he's not gonna. I mean, I'm done predicting Mane's moves here.
Well, yeah, that's one of the hardest things to predict is...
No, I mean I think he navigated somewhat well, as much as you could expect a 1400 to navigate. Like he
He
got the 2
found-
bishops.
And he found
He's
like
probably
knight c6 when it was needed.
Right. But yeah, I somehow I knew as soon as I saw queen e7 that we'd see rook c1, bishop c5, queen e5. I mean, oh gosh.
He does love his endgames. And if you decline the queen trade again...
Yeah, let's see how you might do that. Let's say queen. Well, you need to stick to. If you don't, okay, queen f8 maybe, and then if knight c7, bishop d6.
If I see queen f8 though, I almost want to... I know it's not in Amon's play style, but say like screw the knight, I'll just like start attacking, but I don't think it works.
No. I wouldn't say so. You're right, not a Mon's play style, and also I don't think it worked. But so I was thinking knight c7, but then there's bishop d6, which is slightly annoying.
Yeah.
But you might have like knight e6, which is ridiculous.
It takes new.
Right? Yeah, it's bad.
Well,
I'm getting a little. Yeah.
This knight is just hopping all around.
Oh well, okay.
Black's camp.
Pointless. Entirely pointless. Because the man just hung his queen.
No, oh yes.
Well, he hung his entire rook,
He hung everything.
and we will
Oh.
see a resignation very quickly. Thank you. Amon let me down, but Mr. Mayo, he came through for the guy in the chair, this chair.
God bless Mr. Mayo and God bless Chess
God
TV.
bless, yeah. God bless Mr. Mayo. God bless Chess TV.
And now rook takes rook, and rook takes bishop.
yep, he
And there's a
resigns. There we go.
And a quick resignation from Mr. Mayo. Amon was desperate to play 30 more moves with the man, but Mr. Mayo was like, no, I won't be having this. Please just
Please
win
end my
it
suffering
immediately.
now.
Yes, end my suffering.
Well, GG's
So
to Mr. Mayo. You know, it takes a lot to step into the ring.
he did step into the ring, Mr. Mayo did, and I get like he just collapsed with this G6 move, and from there he just struggled to put up with Amon's threats. Knight B5 from Amon was a fantastic move, just concretely winning, probably, and he just took the advantage. And like Mayo, he did his best to put together like a some tricks to try to trick him on Bishop D6 and all of that. But Amon navigated well and put him away. And despite Amon's best efforts, the game ends quickly. So
Yeah. We will have Amon joining us soon for a call, and
excellent.
we also have 2 more hours of chess TV.
Well, I will be signing off, Corey. I hope that's okay, sir.
Well, let's wait till Amon's.
Well,
After
yeah,
that.
as after Amon, but I will be signing off. I'm sorry to leave you high and dry. I did promise some work people that I would be available at 7.
No problem. I
No
have
stress there.
some stuff I can do as well.
I do have. I am signed on for like about I don't know all day tomorrow.
True. Yeah,
So
you're putting a shift with me.
me and Gory are gonna be Bishop pairing it up. So
Yep. Well, let's see.
go Pranav.
Yeah, go, buddy. This was the final position, and Amon was playing a 1400, not a 1300.
Definitely not Australian swear words, Matt, but I can teach some Australian lingo, some friendly stuff.
No,
We certainly can't have an eval bar, Mattis leet.
Yes, as soon as I sat down and realized I was commentating with Kurtz, I hit the turn off evaluation button. It was on it like when he joined. I could tell he was. I was prepared for you gonna turn it off or.
I think that if Mr. Mayo Mr. Mayo needs to grind the old tactics here. I think that Mayo had like emotionally resigned when he played Bishop takes A8. So, like he had emotionally resigned at this point. Like he was emotionally, like just kind of over the game and ready to be done. So it's kind of maybe we shouldn't fault him, but if he grinds some tactics and kind of looks at this, then that's also good. But also then, if I were to give more advice to Mr. Mayo, I would say this G6 move. I would be like, if I was his coach, if I was Coach Mayo, I would be like screaming at him over this G6 move. Like, how could you possibly do this? What are we doing here? If you're playing moves like G6, stuff like that. So,
But what are you doing here really brings out fear.
Sorry?
The what are we doing here really brings out the fear.
Yes, it's like, well, what are we why are you even spending money? I'd rather not coach you if you're going to play like this.
Yeah.
Sort of things. So, that would be because that's basically essentially where he lost the game. This G6 move, it was just dead. I mean, B6 also wasn't so good, but yeah. But again, you can't fault him for the tactics at the end of the game there because again, he just kind of quit. He kind of emotionally lost the game. But that's maybe another thing for Mr. Mayo to work on. You have the 2 bishops. You're in it with a shout. You're playing a Grandmaster. How often do you get to do this? Not only you're playing a Grandmaster, you're playing Chess Bra, Amon Hamilton.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put up a good showing for. You're on stream.
You're on Chess TV. God bless
on Chess TV. The liberals are watching. But again, I think maybe he was just considering where he should invite Amon to dinner because that's what I would do after the game.
Yeah.
After that game.
Well, I do believe we'll be seeing Amon shortly. I'm texting him now, so we'll get some more information from him when he's ready to join.
Why do you ask, Airbus driver? Am I looking thin? Well, if I'm hungry, I should
twinkish.
go. Very twinkish. No, my roommates are actually gone, so it's not. I promise people from work. There's a work thing I'm supposed to be at. I maybe I don't get the voucher, but yeah, that's okay. I said that I could go, but only after the earliest I could possibly do is after 7 p.m. So no one's believing it. Okay, I don't care what these chess prod chatters believe.
It's really a work thing, but I mean it's going out to party with work thing. It still counts.
Still counts. Still counts. No, you still get my voucher. I'm glad because I'm happy to head to the chess prod version island in January.
Yeah. It's a joke that's gonna go over many people's heads, but if you're in the Discord, it makes sense. And if you aren't in the Discord, well, really, what are you doing? I mean, I've been pitching
Missing out.
Factor and
Yeah, there is a politics channel for the
Chess TV liberals. Yes, they'll love it there.
I think there needs to be like, more Chess TV liberal representation in the politics channel on the Chess Prod Discord. We have European neoliberal in Robin van Kampen. He's a frequent politics channel, the chatter,
That is
and
true.
we have Killam, who's also presumably a European neoliberal.
Hey, Nicola,
hey,
for the 5,000 bits for both
Ooh,
Amon
go,
and
Nicola.
Eric's
go
OTB tournament.
Nicola. Go clean my room.
Kaizo Nation, Eric was rested today. That's why he didn't play for Canada at the Olympiad.
Yeah. We are still waiting on Amon, but any second now we will be joining him, and we can ask him about the game.
What's against Twitch rules? I want no Brando the Bully situations.
Maybe having a politics chat, but just isn't against the rules.
No, we're advertising the politics chat. We're not discussing politics.
You
We're saying
can
that, hey, that's a
discuss
feature
politics as
of the
well.
Chess Prod Discord. You can discuss politics if you'd like. We're not discussing politics ourselves.
You can also discuss politics.
Whoa!
Go, Dr. Lord.
Oh, Dr. Lord, indeed. Back-to-back of 5,000 sheer bits. Thank you, Dr. Lord. So we can ask him about Queen A4 and just the timing of it, because he did eventually play it. But if he looked at it when their two rooks were kind of...
No, I'm sure Knight B5 is just better.
Yep. Yeah, Mayo won. But
Ask him why he's so horny to play endgames against 1400s.
that's a great question.
I thought it was a meme, man. I really did. I'm like, okay, he guy plays a 1400. He's gonna try to put him in the dirt.
Kurtz, have you not seen his B6 park videos? He goes B6, he goes Queen C8, and then he goes Bishop A6, and trades off in pieces.
No, but I'm on. Like, is that really playing chess, or are you just playing like endgame? It's a different game of chess than everybody else somehow. Where he just like, all right, trade everything and then win. I don't know.
He's an endgame, bro.
Endgame, bruh.
I mean, to be fair, I
Goodness.
lose a lot of endgames that I shouldn't lose. Like, equal endgames versus just a player who's slightly better than me in endgames, I'll just throw, eventually. I guess this is classical, though, so there's a bit of a difference. But, there's fundamentals that you have to know, like active rooks.
Those fundamentals served him on well in this game.
Yes, they did. Champion checkers players. The Olympiad is definitely a ripe place for a lot of sandbaggers.
They're not necessarily sandbagging. It's more of like a like not getting an opportunity.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Thank you, Java Bandit, for the
Oh my
110k
goodness.
bits.
Wow. Java Bandit is endorsing this commentary team. Thank you so much, Java Bandit.
Thank you. We're really
Lots of energy.
This is a good sign. We must be working pretty well together.
Yeah,
I think
we're
so.
working hard for the
To bring in this
vouchers.
sort of revenue.
We have the Australian providing the looks.
Yep.
We got Gory providing the technical stuff, and me providing bad chess.
Yep. I'm fast on the mouse.
Fast on the mouse, and that's what a guy needs.
Yep. Well, I did just hit 2100 hyper on chess.com. I'm quite proud of myself.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
The addiction will never end. I was up until like 7 a.m. playing.
What about you in the chess played quick?
Oh, I slept.
Event, Gory.
I slept through it.
Yeah, see, Eric gets it. I'm like the color commentary. I don't do a whole lot of actual talking. I throw in a little bit here and there, but pretty face, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Salty, it is the
Our
best
pretty
sport.
face.
Yeah, you are a pretty face. Nope, Amon will be joining the follow-up in a minute. He's probably just finding a good place that has good Wi-Fi. You know, it's away from people so he can hear his crisp voice. No background noises.
Glad you liked it, Salty. Little wink in there.
Oh, jeez.
For the boys.
Don't. I think chess TV would that might be a little too risque.
Too much for chess TV.
Too much.
My apologies. I might need to.
Just
pull it back
go.
up.
An Australian man winking at us. It's just it might be too much too soon.
So, what time is it there now, Buddy Ice?
It's almost 9 a.m. It's 5 minutes.
Almost
Till
waking
9
up at a
a.m.
normal hour. That's brutal, though. You're a true champion for offering a shoey. If
Oh, no stress, mate. It's
is this a
standard
rolling,
Aussie breakfast. That's
is
for
this a
sure.
rolling offer that if we can't get it today, you know, maybe we get 10 factor tomorrow?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I
That's
think so. I
fast.
think we can definitely hold it, especially because for me, when you guys say tomorrow, that's like tonight at 10:30
That is true.
is when Aman's next round is. So
I wasn't aware that Amon was in a relationship. My goodness.
Do I have some reverb echo? I'll try to fix that for the next one. Hope everything is mostly good though. We still waiting on Amon, but any minute now. Do you guys have any key moments in the game you want to go over? It has a very good point, Badkins. He was just he's live on Twitch again. Perfect. We're getting all the liberals on Twitch. Anyway, any key moments you guys want to talk about? Sorry.
I mean, just mostly B6 and G6. Like you kind
yeah,
of ask about when did you know that you would win the game, because the answer may be just like when I sat down, but probably B6 and G6 were like B6 is like okay, this is definitely a little weird, and then G6 is like, geez, what's going on?
Yeah.
So
What does perfect Sunday looks like? That's a good question.
he's gonna say playing chess in Halifax, probably, because that's what he'll be doing.
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't seen his recent Instagram post, I don't know if that's Halifax, but it's definitely in the surrounding area. Absolutely beautiful area. I think he was I saw a picture of a lake. I don't remember if he was on the actual lake. You guys can find that at Instagram Amon, I assume. This was an IMSO, which is a very good preview of what you can learn in the gym. Amon teaches this at exclamation point learn. They workshopped it a lot, and you can see he just he knew what to do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, big habits game. And if Ramon were to make a follow-up to the habits series, the final habit would be immediately go into an end game, because that's what he seemed to do. But otherwise, habits followed pretty nicely.
suppose. We're talking about how this doesn't really fix any of the issues for black as a b4.
Yeah, I bet yeah, but I guess the point being you play bishop c7, a bishop b7 maybe. Although b4 there, the knight gets extracted. Um, b4 extracts the knight.
Does it
Just
though?
hilarious. A bishop d6. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. And then we swap rooks.
I mean, even still though, like
No, no, no. It's certainly.
we're just up a
I'm just no. Right, right. Presumably, in fact, it doesn't. I mean, well,
What's that? Trying to get some check to work.
no. It's just gross. I mean, rook c1 for one, bishop b7, and then you can just save your knight, and so it's just all it's all gross. No, no, no. You could. Sorry, bishop b7. You save the knight on d4 after rook c1.
It doesn't
So let's
matter.
say rook c1, bishop b7. Well, I'm sorry, I should watch this stream. And now you can save your knight on d4, knight f3, knight d3. So knight d3 to protect b4, whatever. And then you still can't take the knight on a8 because of rook c8. And so it's just all. So there's probably was some way for Mr. Mayo to like go to an endgame just up an exchange or down an exchange, which would have been his best option from the position that he got. I think here, sorry, here instead of bishop c5. Well, no, again still. Okay, you had to swap queens. You had to swap queens. No, 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 not here. Still, there's that b4 issue, but before the first queen swap, knight takes, and then you play bishop takes. This is your best bet
Yep.
for position.
Mm.
Death. It's just complete death, death and destruction.
But I almost have to. Well, I guess that's why. After this, I was almost a little confused why you didn't just sack the knight, but then that was why.
Because rook c1 makes it so the knight is still not hanging technically,
Yeah.
and queen e5 being a thing also made it, exist. So
Yeah. The whole tactical sequence, which we can assume Amon calculated, because if not, why would you not just play the simple move instead of doing the whole complex one?
yeah, because I mean, it's not a tough calculation, I don't think. So Amon probably spent about a minute and a half on it, but very interesting. And I wonder what Amon. He might be signing autographs, might be making dinner plans, might be tracking down the girlfriend.
He's chatting with his opponent.
He's what now?
Chatting with his opponent. Just got word.
Probably.
No, I just got word from him, so we will continue to wait. There's no problem with it. We can confirm that Eric will be playing in the Olympiad tomorrow, so there'll be some coverage on that. And then after this tournament, we will be having coverage from myself and a couple other people will be joining.
I mean, Lopes, it depends on what your goals are, buddy. I once played a game and basically I was lost out of the opening against a grandmaster. I fought back until I was like maybe like, and I at some point I was maybe -1 or something, and then I resigned because I'm like, oh shit, it's Sunday. Oh crap, it's Sunday. I have to go home and do homework because I was in college at the time, and it was like 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh, time to go home. I have a paper due tomorrow. So, and he told me, well, you resigned in the best position that you ever had. I'm like, yeah, I know. I have a paper. So
that's very cute. I mean, that's what I would have to do that too, though, in college.
Right. Or I could have just not turned it in or pulled an all-nighter. I don't know. But I'm just saying that maybe, but you only get so many times to play a grandmaster in your chess career. And you should, especially if you have an opportunity to play the guy in a not unreasonable position, maybe you should go for it. I don't know. Maybe you should do the thing.
While we are waiting for Amon, I can show a graphic that will have all of Eric's dates. I realize you can't hear me once I switch, so I'll be muted.
I would
but
love.
You can look at this.
I would love.
They can't hear us, by the way, because I literally just made that. At least I don't think they can hear us. They can hear you guys now.
Oh, well, I'd
Oh, that's
love to
good.
be on one of Eric's dates. I'm gonna make that joke again because I thought it was just so funny.
Oh, yes. It took me a second to get it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they can still hear all of us. Lovely.
That's generally
That's
how
what we like to
OBS works, right?
I mean, yeah, it says it's not going to, though.
Okay, fair enough. Fair. Eric did not play today. He was rested. The Canadians decided to rest Eric.
He will be back, though. He'll be back starting tomorrow. Hikaru wasn't playing because he would be the fourth board, and that's too low.
Well, why is I think the question is why isn't he playing in the Mayflower Open in Halifax, Nova Scotia? And that's a great question. Why isn't Hikaru playing in the Halifax in the Mayflower Open in Halifax, Nova Scotia?
I really don't know, seeing as much.
Hikaru, I think she should go ask Hikaru why he's not playing in the Halifax Open, the 5-round Halifax Open in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yes. I do agree. The field is pretty tough. It would be,
Yeah, I think Hickey would have a hard time beating Mr. Mayo here.
Yeah.
Okay, Leon Lilling.
Hi, Lobes. Hope you're doing well. If you're really requesting my voice, you can have a little bit of it.
A little bit of a touch stream.
I think the Canadian politeness is working against us here, Gory, because Amon is he certainly.
It's been 12 minutes since I.
It has been 12 minutes, yes. And we're probably just even halfway through. Oh, how's it been? Oh, well, it's great to see you out here in Halifax. Thanks for coming out. I think you should go to dinner out to Shoeless Joel's. So.
Thank you for the game. It's an honor to play you.
It was such an honor to play you.
We do
no
have word,
trouble at all.
We do have word he's coming.
Okay. Very nice.
He said incoming, so maybe he's not coming.
Oh yeah, sure, but
sure, but what's the proposal, Mr. Hansen? I thought you went to bed, sir.
Well, we're keeping him up with our amazing commentary.
Can I show the viewers how Aronian's opponent could have won? Oh, I don't know if I could have done that. I mean, do you mean in the final position or just in earlier in the game? I don't know.
Well, while we are waiting for Amon, I can thank some
Can you
subs.
pull it up there, Gory?
Yes, I can do that as well.
No, you don't have to do it. You can. Amon's probably on his way.
No, it's fine. I'm quick on the mouse. Thank you to
It's a
Leon
full
Lorraine
exchange, sir.
for the 6 months in advance. And thank you to Today for scroll down for 7
final
months.
Position.
And thank you to Bodog. So
all right, final position. Well, you're gonna have to pull it back up for Mr. Hamilton's game there, sir.
Hey guys,
I opened a new tab.
Oh. Certainly.
Hello,
okay,
Amon.
fantastic. Hello, Amon.
Hey guys.
Oh, he doesn't hear me.
hey,
we have
buddy.
to unmute here.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Sweet. One sec. Let me find the video here. All right, what's going on?
We're big fans of that game. I was especially a big fan of that game. Very tactical.
Yeah, it was actually something that's more common in chess tournaments is that you play a lower rated player in round one. So like usually round one is supposed to be for a grandmaster, a game you can win pretty comfortably. But when I played my last tournament, we used something called accelerated pairings, where they kind of pretend that people over 1800, let's say, already have a certain amount of points, and they pair you according to that, just so that your first game isn't like 1400, it's more like an 1900. So the last tournament I played got really intense pretty quickly, and this one is sort of building up.
So Amon, it looked to us like you were obviously fairly comfortable throughout the entire game, but to my eyes, B6 was kind of an early inaccuracy, and then G6 right after was kind of a big mistake. And so I don't know if that's how you felt with the game. I mean, obviously, like Knight B5 was just very nice, but how did you feel like when were you kind of settling in, knowing, okay, all right, this will be very easy. This man's a 1400.
Right. So I just finished. That's why I didn't join immediately. I just finished chatting to him as well about the game, and he was saying, pretty much it's like his second OTB tournament ever, and he like started like during the pandemic. So I think he was, pretty much second tournament. You're playing a GM. It's like you don't even know how to handle a situation like that.
For sure.
So he was actually telling me that. Yeah, he picked up the Nimzo. I was like, yeah, it's a quality opening, but he said he was a little psyched out and probably forgot some stuff. I will point out that generally in the Nimzo, if you don't play very actively, so he went Bishop B4, took on D5, and then he didn't play the move C5. And the move C5, I think, should be like nearly immediate. If you ever play the Nimzo and you don't play C5 and you stick to more like B6 stuff or like maybe even C6, then what you end up playing is a Queen's Gambit without your bishop on E7, where it should be in a Queen's Gambit. And that's pretty much what happened to him, is that he played it Nimzo style initially, but then didn't follow up aggro with like C5, Knight C6, putting pressure on my center. And as a result, he got something that looked more like a Queen's Gambit, and he really regretted maybe not being able to unpin that nasty like Bishop G5 pin. The whole game was causing issues. So he kind of like muddled up a few different opening systems, which is why I think he got into some trouble early on.
Yeah, just quickly touching on the fact that this was kind of one of his quick newer OTB experiences. We noticed that he to resign, he knocked over his king.
Exactly, right. Very, very nice to see. I think it was that, and there was one other thing which stood out to me. I'm not sure how visible.
Hit the clock with the other hand. Is that right, Amon?
Okay, so I didn't even process that one. The one that I was thinking was, let's say you're taking a piece. You might take the piece in your hand and then put your piece on that square, or you might take your piece, put it to that square, and like remove his piece at the same time.
Right.
And what he did was he took my piece and placed it off the board without like touching any of his pieces. And so it's kind of like, where's my piece? and then he put the piece on the square. So there were a few instances where I was definitely like, I can appreciate the learning curve, and we spoke about it after the game. But yeah, good fun. He definitely was making some notes for next time.
For sure. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
It's a great person to learn off of. Over the board etiquette from you.
I don't know about that. It's a little mean there.
Well, we even thought that if he potentially swapped queens on D4, and at the end, like he was in it. I would play on. You would probably play on Amon in that position with bishop pair down in exchange. I mean, it is rough for sure.
Definitely.
But
no question. I wouldn't think twice of anyone's character for playing on there. I did that because there might be an issue with this line, but I had sort of worked out a fairly forcing line, which was
I think you exchange everything, right? And there's no way to avoid it.
Exchange like everything. If he doesn't want to trade rooks with me, I'll own the C file. Yeah. And then I thought I had some very, very forcing like Knight B5, Knight C7, coupled with like rook to D1, and just like the D pawn would fall, or he would have to trade a bishop. And I think once he trades any bishop at all, for my knight that it becomes trivial, at least strategic.
Sure.
So I was ready to maybe play a lot of moves to convert that. I mean, yeah, it could have been a longer game, but it's one of those ones where I know 100% how to win it and that it's winning. And for me, I know for a fact there were probably some better lines than bishop takes c6, like tactically speaking, but I guess I just wasn't in the mood to think too much and saw an easy win to take there.
You already played enough tactics for one day with knight b5, so you
Exactly.
so
You gotta rest the system,
Right.
I don't know how much of the playing hall was like visible on the camera, but just to say a few things about the tournament, like it's in an like auditorium or like a theater, let's say, at a university campus, and there was a screen. I don't know if you could see it, but they have auditorium seating, so people can come in as spectators, sit in the seats, and then they have this like projector screen where they put the images of the DGT boards that are up front on the stage. So you can really kind of sit there, I don't know, work quietly on your laptop, on your phone, like just do stuff, and you have the games in front of you. So as a spectator, it was actually kind of like it's a really, really good way to host it, I thought.
That's really nice. I'm getting like the old school like pictures that you always see like of like the 80s where they just have the boards that they're moving by hand, except it's the DGT.
Exactly.
That's very nice.
Pretty much.
Do you think, Aman, that you'll find yourself looking at that screen to calculate at any point in time? Just because I know sometimes when you watch the top guys play and there's that screen behind them with the 2D pieces, they're often like looking at it and calculating because do you think that you're going to be pulling one of those, or you're just going to be?
I think it's a reasonable question. Like no joking at all. Seeing it 2D is especially more comfortable for myself, a streamer, but just anyone who's played online lately for the last couple of years in the pandemic. The problem is that the thing is so far from me, and usually it's like, let's say, right above my head, so I can like just look up, but I have to actually physically leave the stage, walk all the way to the back of the room, and then look at it. I can't even see it. I'm looking at the back of the screen from my chair. So it's very, very, very inconvenient. But even despite all that, I did look at it once. I did walk all the way there just to check.
Sorry, what moment did you go and look at the screen? Do you remember the exact?
Yeah, I think it was around. I think it was whenever I went to go eat my granola bar. So I think it was maybe after I castled.
Okay.
Planning out the rest of the game, obviously.
Yeah.
I was actually when you played b6, right? My brain, especially after castling, started going into all these like, situations where Queen A4 would start working.
Oh yep, I was just about to ask about Queen A4.
Yeah, because like B4 hangs, E8 hangs, and quite honestly, I could never get it working the way that I wanted. Because let's say he always says Queen E7, which defends both the rook and the bishop.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then there was like one line instead of knight b5, Queen A4.
Queen A4.
Takes C3. Bishop takes F6. And here the move Queen D7 was like very.
Oh, that's tilting.
Thing to me. And
I didn't notice this
happening there.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, knight c6, and then the chat pointed out you could take on c6 there. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't even see Queen d7.
Yeah, Queen d7 is like some kind of crazy, and I was like, oh my god, like let's calm down here.
Were you confident that you were winning after knight b5? That like you were just straight up winning a pawn or the exchange?
Yes. Knight b5. At that point, I think just too many moves that you sort of like tilt your head at were played, and one of those moves happens, and it's like, okay, maybe I'm slightly better here. Another one happens, you're like, do I have something? Like, okay, maybe like I don't have any forced wins, but man, like it's almost working. And as soon as you see like 2 or 3 of those, you're like, okay, wait a minute, like that's too much. It's over now. And I felt that allowing knight b5 was like the last, straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
Yeah. We were looking at knight b5, bishop d6, and then we realized you can just play knight c7 anyway.
Yeah, knight c7 I think is it's actually not so great. Bishop c7, bishop f6, bishop h2, and I don't end up winning. I don't even end up a pawn there, sadly.
True.
So
Yeah, we
so
haven't thought about.
I was I was planning this exact line, and once I did it, I realized it's bishop h2, and I was like, okay, well that's a little silly. But what I can do after bishop d6 is, first of all,
You
I
can
can
take it.
take it and force the pawn to take.
Otherwise, queen d6, bishop f4.
Yeah, queen d6, bishop f4, or queen d6, bishop f6. Even if I want to get my queen in there, either way, like I'm getting that pawn. And then I actually thought he was going to end up doing that bishop d6 move, because it kind of like, it holds things a little bit. I have to really prove the advantage still. But honestly, I was going to think more when I got there, but I saw at least knight d6, cd6, rook c1, and just try to play queen c7 should be a big advantage.
Did you consider a3 after he played c5 instead of going straight for bishop f for winning the exchange with bishop f6, knight c7? Because it seemed like there is even nicer tactics, or there could have been even nicer tactics after a3, and like if you play c4, you can probably just play like takes and takes on b4 and queen c7, or knight c7 still. So I don't know. Was this a consideration at
I
all?
think,
That's probably why you paused, right?
Yeah, I think you brought up the line that was on my mind, at least. I really wanted to get a3 in, but a3, c4, ab4, cd3, queen is it queen c7 at that point?
Yeah, queen c7 looks pretty good.
Queen c7, eh? And what exactly? Yeah, that looks good. There was a moment queen c7 didn't convince me, but it's definitely not here. What if the bishop goes back first?
Oh, after c4, you mean? Or
no, first. So like a3, bishop a5.
Bishop a5. I thought that maybe then you could go for, if you wanted to go for this, you could play b4. Maybe b4 works out. I don't know. And then queen c7. But then I was thinking, well, maybe it looks good just to have the bishop on a5 in general before we play bishop takes f6, knight c7. And so I thought you might go for it with this in mind. But
yeah, no doubt. I think I could have very easily gotten my own head at this point, because I'm not really able to produce a variation at the moment, because queen c7 looks really, really strong after c takes d3 in the c4 line, because in my head c4 was connected to c4. Why I didn't like a3 initially, but I don't think I'm able to justify that too well right now.
Yeah, well, queen d6 does it. I mean, initially I wanted like knight c6 and stuff, but
right.
Like I was looking at bishop takes g6, stuff like that. But
yeah, a3 looks like probably a smarter move to play first, because I wish that it worked out a little better. I thought he would play c4 instead of c takes d4, and I thought that I don't know, it was a little something like, if I move my bishop after c4, then it's a little he can take my knight on a8, and he's kind of got bishop pair, and he's only down the exchange.
Right. Well, I mean, that's all the questions I have about the game. How are you feeling about the town there, Amon? How are you liking Halifax? Looks like you're in front of a church or something, and that
no, like this one's still the campus, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's outside the building that we played in.
Oh, cool.
It's great. I gotta say, like, small town. People here are just some of the nicest in Canada, for sure. And already met a few people, like some kids. There was one kid I met, and his mom was like, let's take a picture, if you would. And I said, of course. And she was like, oh, like, my son maybe thinks he saw you at the Canadian Open, like he played the CYCC. I was like, oh, like, great, like, how did it go? And he was like, it went okay. I was like, oh wow. And then the mom's like, yeah, you won first.
Okay.
It really went great.
I was like, oh, you're definitely stronger than I was at your age. I think he won the under 10
Wow.
SEC. So I was like, God damn.
That's sweaty right now.
Yeah. So some very impressive results from the kids, and yeah, someone was wearing chest bra, hoodie to round one, and just a little bit of nostalgia for me. I mean, I grew up playing chess in the Maritimes in general, which is just Eastern Canada, tournaments in Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland, and there's just a lot of names that I know from my literal youth, like less than 10 years old type of stuff. So good nostalgia for me, and then meeting some people that basically last saw me when I was that young and now see me as a grandmaster after probably beating me as a kid. So some interesting conversations.
I can imagine so. Okay, didn't I used to play you 10 years ago?
Yeah, not even 10, literally like 20.
Oh yeah.
Especially you know, like even when you look at a kid like who's like, I don't know, 10 years old and then 15, you can hardly recognize them. These guys are seeing me like age 10 and like age 30. It's like, what the hell? Jesus, kid, it really fell off.
Where'd the time go?
Exactly. Sold out my social skills for the GM title, I see.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So yeah, it's great. First night, it's nice to win, obviously, but certainly with the rating differential, I think it's very expected. I do feel like in general a little more warmed up from playing the last tournament, so that was kind of a nice feeling that I've touched OTB pieces before, and I'm not. I don't know. We have to test it out against a stronger player. Like I'm guarantee there'll be more time pressure for you guys. Don't worry, but
we're looking forward.
I feel a
For
little better.
Well, it also maybe it helped that you teach the Nimzo in the gym.
Exactly. It all goes back to the chess broad gym.
Yeah.
But I was able to give the guy a few quick pointers about the Nimzo, which is good because it's one of those openings that, if you leave that bishop on b4, I always say in chess, like when you play bishop b4, b5, g4, g5. So like doesn't matter what color you are, but when you bring that bishop out and you pin a knight, the moment that knight becomes unpinned, if you don't take it, the very next move, like 90% of the time you're making a mistake. That's just it. So that pretty much happened to him in this game. He didn't take my knight after I castled and unpinned myself. And then obviously everything bad stemmed from that decision.
Great.
Well, while we were talking, we got an anonymous gifter with lots of energy, gifted 21.
Oh, cow. 21. That seems to be a regular number for anonymous, whoever you are.
21.
A very regular anonymous number. Soon anonymous is just going to be whoever this person is. It's going to be a regular gift. So thank you very much, anonymous.
Thank you. Well, that's it for me. I have no other questions. If Kurtz or Aiden have any.
Oh, all set there.
With when you play someone with such a lower rating, Aman, sort of like, is there much incentive to look over these games, or not as much unless like compared to if you were playing someone closer to your rating?
Well, first of all, hi, Aiden. I didn't even realize you were there.
I'm just chilling in the background,
Yeah. Probably selling some shoeies or something.
Yep.
What
We
you
were
obviously
trying.
We do
not,
have
not
him
enough
trying.
factor subs this stream.
That's fair though. This is only round one, so yeah, we can save it. It's still many days ahead.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's actually a really good question because you'd think that the answer is no. And to a degree, it certainly is. Like I'm not going to get a ton out of this, but a lot of times, like 15, let's just say 1500, just to use a number, 1500s will play me in and certainly play something that has some sort of logic over the board, and I'll feel like the move is stronger than it is because it's something I've really never like encountered before. No one's maybe had the confidence to do it, or like maybe there's a glaring error in it, but I see it at the board and I always estimate it's stronger than it is. And I maybe get back, look on the computer, and it's terrible, like awful. Computer suggests something, but when I react to it over the board, I'm not really thinking of that nasty computer line. I'm thinking like, maybe how I would handle it. And honestly, I often find some inspiration from moves I completely don't expect that are worth looking at. It's happened a few times on stream as well, where I'm like, this move must be bad, and then I like sit there and I'm like, wait, it must be right.
The Knight
Like
A3 London.
exactly, Knight A3 London. Like these moves just they strike me as good moves, and maybe look with the engine they're not. But the point is, it's all about the value of the move when it hits you over the board.
Yeah.
And if it stuns me over the board, then there's something to it. Like if I don't have a natural way to like conduct myself after seeing it and like find a good response, even if there is one, if it's an unnatural response that's required, then it's to some degree it's a good try. Like it's a good move. And my opponents aren't necessarily doing it because they know all this, but it just happens that that's the case. So I don't look at them over too much unless I get this feeling. And I have gotten it before against lower rated players, this feeling of they do a move and I'm like, what the hell? But it kind of throws me off over the board and I check it later and it's like, okay, no, I'm just, I'm in my own head here. But I do check over some of these games, but only when I get that feeling.
Okay. So you got much planned for tonight, or are you just going to rest up and be ready for tomorrow's game?
Probably rest up a little. Definitely going to grab, there's some really nice options, like right by the harbor here in Nova Scotia. Lots of good seafood options, like known for that kind of stuff. Also known for donair, like kebabs. So known for a few different things. So I'm definitely going to make my way through some of the food choices in Nova Scotia here. And tomorrow's like double round day, so definitely want to get a good rest and make sure we're at least ready for another 10 a.m. Day. The time controls are a little bit longer here. It's an hour and 45 minutes for the first 40 moves. So the games, like the tough games, they have potential to go like a pretty long time. So I feel like I gotta have enough energy for that.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy for me tonight, but good to get round one in the books. And there's more than a few strong players here. So I definitely expect some tough games. And with the longer time control, I expect some battles.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be commentating tomorrow. So, guys, if there's anything else, Ahmad or Gory, or
other than it looks beautiful out there. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I saw your Instagram post.
It is beautiful. Staying by the water, so some nice sunsets, sunrises, and can't complain. People are nice. Nova Scotia is beautiful, very green, by the water. So it's been really nostalgic, as I said as well. And the tournament hall venue, I only got good impressions so far. So I think they're doing a really good job. They had the mayor come by and like address everyone. I was like, okay.
Let's
go Nova Scotia.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
And when the mayor was done, he sat back down in the arbiter's chair. Got like 5 guys doing the same job, but it's a good team.
Well, at least you're safe.
Absolutely. So it's been good. I appreciate. I can't get the stream up just because the last tournament, like I had an extra phone, but I'm actually on my only phone right now, so I haven't been able to see the chat during this. So I don't know who we got in there right now, but I appreciate you boys jumping on the broadcast and covering round one, even though maybe it's a little shorter than some of the other ones.
Well,
no complaints. No complaints.
Yeah, I was about to say we're never complaining about quick wins ever.
As long as they're wins, yeah.
Yep.
Quick L's, I'll try to avoid, but otherwise, if it's a long one, those are also pretty tough to lose as well. So I'll just stick to no L's in general.
Yep, that's what we'd like to see as well. No L's. We got a lot of people in here. We got Callum, Omid, a lot of long.
Okay.
A lot of
heavy
months.
Hitters.
Oh yeah, a lot of couple 70 pluses. We also just got Zippy, who just subbed at tier 1. How you doing, buddy, Zippy?
No, tier 3.
Tier 3. Sorry, it was for 1 month. That was my bad.
I thought that was like a good comment from Gory. Like, we got Zippy in here. He's only subbed at tier 1.
No, that would be disingenerous. He is tier 3. It says resub for 1 month because of how Twitch is.
Go Zippy.
Go, buddy.
some maybe some food tonight for me, and I'll see. Kurtz, you said you're back tomorrow. Is Aiden joining as well?
I do believe so.
Yes. Yes, I will be back again.
Perfect. Well, let's see if we can have a good show tomorrow. Another double round day, and try to get 2 points put together.
Sounds great, Amon.
It does.
Sounds good.
All right, boys. Appreciate you. Thanks everybody for watching round one. I know it wasn't the toughest game, but still, it's good to win those ones convincingly and try to keep it going. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. for me, so 9 a.m. Eastern, I believe. So see you guys then.
And it's the night time for Buddy Aiden.
Yes. Yeah, next round, yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Better time to do a shoey, hopefully. So
that is true.
Yeah, we got to take advantage of the morning, especially because we just never tell people that we never advertise that you're Australian too much. People are like, "Oh, damn, doing a morning shoey, beast." All right, guys. Night.
All right. Bye, bye.
See ya.
So thank you everyone for joining us. Kind of gonna just wrap up now. Oh, I forgot that you muted in there. Well, I was just ending up. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to my lovely commentators, Aiden and Kurtz. I don't think we'll be continuing, so let's see who should be raid, or unless you want to go over Aronian's game, which I do.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, no problem. I go to the bathrooms.
All right. I will be signing off there, boys. So
No problem. See you
I'm running late. All right. See you later.
worries.
See ya and have fun at your work thing. Let's see. We could raid Bernie Sanders. Or the Chess TV liberals. But no, we won't do that. Do you have anyone you would like to raid, big guy?
We have a couple of options from looking at my followed channels and the recommended ones. There's Mark Esselman, Omid, GM Hospam,
So is he?
Thirsty Monster.
Is Omid in the chat or is he streaming?
He's streaming.
Okay.
Omid's probably the best option, I reckon.
I do agree. Let's send it to Buddy.
The Drip God.
I have permissions to do this. And we are sending it. Thank you everyone for joining us. We are perfect. That is going through. I am. Oh, that cancels it. So I'll re-rate it. I just wanted to click out so I could read chat, but it's different than what I'm used to. But thank you everyone for sticking with us. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. It's really hard to see. I can't actually see any names. Thank you to DK Surf. Thank you to Emad. Thank you to everyone. And
Epo, bye everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow and tonight for Aiden. Bye bye. Just end another.